Hi, hello. Welcome, Tranquilis. Gotta tweak my microphone down a little bit. Too low. Okay. Hello, everyone. Raven Joe is still waking up, so he'll be here in a few minutes. He'll be here when he's here. But yeah, hello, everyone. Hello. We're doing more Powerwash Simulator today, where I just wash away the sins. The sins that'll never come out. I mean, he's late. He's glaring at me right now. Your mic will be unmuted when you have it pulled down. But yes, hello everyone. Yeah, as I mentioned before, we're doing more Powerwash Simulator for the Midgar expansion because fix your fucking mic. Oh, whoa, hold up. Why is it loose right there? Hold on. Okay.
The Hardy Daytona and the hauler truck. We cleaned.
We started the bar.
Yeah, and before we cleaned the bar, we did the guard scorpion, or the scorpion sentinel as it's known in the remake.
And I believe that's just about it so far. We started the bar and we're gonna finish the bar today.
Yeah. There's only about 5 maps, so we're literally halfway.
Yeah. We just gotta finish up. And then we can move on to the final map where we power wash Aerith back to life. That's what that picture is, by the way.
Oh my god.
So, the day that this DLC launched, apparently there is an AO3 fanfic of Cloud trying to power wash Aerith back to life, and it doesn't work. And it's just descriptive him just going, why isn't it working though? I only just discovered this looking for Final Fantasy VII Powerwash Simulator memes, and then I found I can't move her knee because that is most definitely not. That is precisely what it looks like. It's someone's backside. I'm assuming Aerith's backside. And it is most definitely a redraw of a WikiHow image with that face.
Like, you did not even need to say that. Anyone who has even seen a WikiHow image for any amount of time would be able to tell that just looking at this.
Yup. And, yeah. It's the soggy Aerith joke and the Cloud can't wash the depression away. It's so terrible, but it's so funny.
Does that mean every time someone moves her body, she makes the sound of those squeaky boots from that one old SpongeBob episode?
We are most definitely halfway on both the campaign and this map.
And our road to hell, making those jokes.
Right. I'm already considering the things that I have admitted to being into. I'm pretty sure I'm already like 1 foot there.
Alright, may as well just take the jump while you're at it. Why not? Who's gonna stop you? Anyway.
Definitely not the person that's been... never mind. Gonna turn myself to the blue gnome this stream, huh?
I still need to watch
that. Use me as your toilet!
Oh my god.
Yes! It's so fucking bad.
Now, I think now I get why Wayne was saying, I want to see how long it takes for this one to get demonetized.
Immediately. Oh yeah, I was gonna do Final Fantasy music wasn't
Oh yeah, some fucking Square Enix VOD tracks, because you know, for some reason people have been really cool and fucking uploading the shit to listen to for free on YouTube and Spotify also, I guess.
I have to pull up the credits thing. Nope, that ain't it. Is that it? Yeah. I'm just gonna move that. Yeah, you know, that's actually perfect right up there.
Yeah, there we go.
And for those who are probably going to be watching this on YouTube, we'll get to watch it in sync with the music, so you know what themes we're listening to.
More or less.
Oh my god, with the way the fucking bricks are colored and the shadowing, I thought it was still dirty.
I'm wondering if we should turn the game down, because I cannot hear you worth a damn when you start spraying.
Oh yeah, I probably should.
I mean, that's accurate to a real power washer, but goddamn.
There we go.
There we go.
Y'all aren't gonna miss much. It's literally gonna be the sound of the power wash, which I've had some people suggest in another stream. Hey, you should turn the game up a little bit more. And then I'm like just now remembering. Oh yeah, Powerwash Simulator is literally just gonna be the most monotone droning sound ever. It's actually drowning out the VOD track right now.
Oh my god, it kind of is.
There we go.
Because, like, unless you have something going on another tab or something, it is just this sound.
What level limit break is Powerwash?
Level 2. It's the one you get after you kill like 80 to 100 enemies.
Painting.
God, that's
hearing the every once in a while from the one of them clipping the edges. Hold up. Where is it? Can I recreate it?
Yeah, there you go. Where it's like just on the edge.
Oh, that's such a We'll see what's actually happening is that you found out how to harness Leviathan into a gun. Pretty much. We're just gonna.
Someone in Wutai is having fucking conniptions thinking about that one.
You found the hidden cicada. Pretty much. But yeah, just fucking we complete this and we just get a Final Fantasy VII themed fucking skin for the Powerwash gun.
I
mean,
wish,
you completed
not.
it, didn't you?
I have completed it, yes.
Yeah, then you already know what the last levels are going to be.
I do, and I am not saying shit.
Are they at least going to be really good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm hoping one is a Mako reactor. Also, the frame rate's being a little fussy today, but that's also because this is one of the larger of the maps.
Not to mention this is taking assets from a very asset-heavy game and scaling them down for this engine.
Gotta clean the goop. Gotta power wash the entire church inside and out. The church that Cloud falls through, what, 3 times apparently?
Twice, I think. You're probably thinking of Zack, who also falls through the church at least once in Crisis Core.
Look, I think even Crisis Core forgets about Zack sometimes. Ba-bum! It's been how many years since Crisis Core has come out? I think I'm entitled to that joke.
Like, 13 years.
I think I'm entitled to that spoiler adjacent joke.
then again, counterpoint: how many people in the U.S. owned a PSP?
A fuck ton, actually. It was almost a better selling handheld than the DS.
Really?
Yeah.
I know it was no Vita, but the way I heard everyone talk about it, it was like you would barely see people own one.
No, so many people own them.
All right, fair enough.
Like, even when I was in the Navy, everybody had one. I actually got shit for owning a DS. That's how popular it was. They're like, why do you got a DS? And I'm like, Etrian Odyssey.
And then the 3DS came out and was a fucking money printer.
Absolutely. Found the cicada again. Oh. Did I ever finish the crates? No, I didn't. Time to finish the crates with the trident.
There you go.
Oh, that's one crate.
Then pass this along to Sid when you're done with it.
Either that or break it over my head.
Nah, don't do that. Like, cause it's got three slots and a triple AP bonus. You want to hold on to it for grinding materia levels.
Oh, fucking someone gifted me Salt 2 recently. It's kind of nice.
Gifted you what?
Salt 2. It's pretty much single player Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Like the title aside, it's literally single player Sea of Thieves.
Machine gun on the table belongs to a friend of mine, Barrett. He's big and hot-headed as a behemoth, but he's got a heart of gold. He also cares about our planet more than anyone else I know.
Well, yeah, since he has a daughter. Suddenly you care a lot more about the planet more than everyone else when you have a daughter.
I mean, have you seen what's happened to Maximilian the moment he's had a kid? He himself has admitted he has his fucking dad moment. He has a lot of dad moments. The Buster Sword belongs to my childhood friend Cloud.
Go on. Are we gonna get acknowledgement?
He left to join Soldier when we were kids. Now he's out and helping us take on the company.
Oh, so this is after the bombing mission.
No, this is before.
Oh, he joins Avalanche before bombing mission.
Yeah, he, slight spoilers for OG Final Fantasy VII. Tifa finds him in, the train yard after the events of, the end of, that are detailed in the end of Crisis Core when he's trying to pull himself together, and he stays in Midgar for a few days, and she was afraid of, like, seeing him just suddenly vanish from her life, so she tells him, hey, I've joined up with Avalanche, how about you take on a job with us? And that leads to the event in FF7's Cold Open.
And then we get the ever-running joke of, why didn't Cloud just take Tifa? But, like, in Japan, childhood friends aren't immediately thought of as, like, crushes openly.
Despite the fact they're also usually often the option in games with dating sim elements as, like, the first girl.
Yeah. And it is a bit of a cultural thing for Japan, I found out, that, like, childhood friends are seen more closely as just extended family members. Usually. But, you know... Oop, that wall's done.
There you go.
Also, don't forget the DLC for the game, Pepper. No, that's the DLC for the first game. Yeah,
I can't believe they did a crossover with fucking Pepperman Pizza Tower.
Pepperman Pizza Tower. I actually resumed streaming that earlier in the week, like, in spite of the not okay sprite that was present in that. And I obviously opened the stream with, the sprite's not okay, I wish it would be changed, but I just want to finish the game, because I was already pretty balls deep in it. And I thought about just never streaming it again, and just leaving it at that. But
was that bad?
It was a indigenous people stereotype sprite that was, like, after actually seeing it. What's up, Becky? After actually also, what's up, Tranquillus and Jupiter's Star and Nexus.
I was so zonked out from, like, getting up, I actually didn't notice. We have new people here. What's up?
Tranquillus? No, we've had Tranquillus before. He just comes and goes when he feels like it.
Yeah, he just talks when he wants to.
Yeah. But
which is about how it should be.
But yeah, there's a indigenous people stereotype that could almost be passed as.
Is this one DMCA? Because this is fucking vocals and shit.
Thank you.
Because, like, I know fucking what's the guy's name? McPig. He did address a couple things from, like, a few years ago by saying, hey, yeah, not only was this not great of me, the shit I said just straight up wasn't funny.
And, again, Go on, Becky. Well, so the thing with the theming he went with, which he could have opted not to, but it's the same thing where, like,
Where,
I'm
where
not
he
giving.
basically leans into, like, I'm assuming classic cowboys and Indians imagery, but without doing the research of why that would not be super great in, like, 2022.
Well, so spaghetti western.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right.
yes, you have to get all the Italian things in if you're gonna do the God, if you're gonna do like a good majority of the Italian stereotypes, which you could also argue isn't that much better, but I don't think like anybody, or I don't think the Italians are gonna complain about their more culturally ingrained aspects being riffed on because they're riffing on it themselves.
Not to mention there's a yeah, because not to mention you can apply it in a way that it's basically a fucking Speedy Gonzalez situation where it's so absurd that it's not really spiteful, it's just funny.
And even then, and I can't speak for everyone
Of course.
for
yeah.
Latin America and more specifically Mexico, which is what Speedy Gonzalez was aimed at, is not everyone hates it. It's not a generally universally reviled thing. It's still not 100% okay, but like it's a depends on who you ask situation.
Absolutely.
And with the whole spaghetti western thing, thankfully we were done with that level pretty early on, and I'm not going for a 100% or a P run for the game. I'm more than likely gonna, once we're done with Pizza Tower, it's probably going to be moved on to something else, which more than likely may actually end up turning into Salt 2. Because it's actually already immediately fun.
All right.
But yeah, regardless, it's a situation where, like, it may not have been thought of that hard, and it's not very frequently thought of when it should be thought of more, because the indigenous people who lived in these lands before us should still be considered for every general aspect, or just every aspect, if when possible. Hell, I admittedly kind of wish the Oklahoma trial thing that would have ran all the businesses out of the indigenous people owned lands. I quietly hope that was actually going to fucking win.
It is at this moment I am going to point towards the I believe I've quoted this before, the one Dave Chappelle joke I can name off the top of my head that has not aged like dog shit, which was from his old fucking Comedy Central show of two indigenous people sitting on a airplane seat, and one of them is thinking, I'm not going to get up to pee because the white man's going to take my seat and call it manifest destiny.
Oh my god, I forgot about that joke and how topical that is to this day.
Yep, unfortunately.
Like, I actually asked my boss at the time, because they were still filing taxes for Oklahoma, what was going to become of the business if the court case goes through, and we suddenly become a 52 state country, because most of Oklahoma was about to go back to the indigenous people because the contract that was originally struck up in the 60s was violated.
Is this also the MCA? Because whenever I don't see Square Enix and I see a person's name, I assume that's fucking...
There we go. We might actually play this game at some point.
What game?
Chocobo Dungeon.
Oh, yeah, because I've never fucking played it. And, there's like a billion updated versions.
Everybody is the definitive version currently, and I own a copy of it. We may play this at some point, because I've been really wanting to complete Mystery Dungeon.
Oh yeah, because there's like a bunch of fucking Mystery Dungeon spin-offs back to the days of...
It's all the same game. It's literally just games with updated Final Fantasy characters in it.
Yeah, nah, but I mean, there's also like fundamental differences between this, Torneco's Mystery Dungeon, which is like the original one, fucking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, etc., etc.
Powerwash Crisis Core Powerwash DLC. How much is the bill anyways? Man, the cost of professional cleaning sure is steep. We say as the entire scenario's bill is probably going to be under $1,000.
Yep. Those fucking exchange rates of guilty USD, man.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fucking sales tax when you're living in Midgar. Everything's
Really?
like 30% more expensive.
Did they actually return the difficulty to the original? Because back on the Wii and Wii U version, it used to be like really piss easy. Did they actually correct the difficulty in everybody?
Uh, yeah, because I think you told me that it was slightly easier, or were you saying it was easier because it had like a opt-in multiplayer mode?
The original, you technically could do multiplayer. Everybody, I never actually dove into it officially. It might have been somebody else. Do I?
Do you?
I'll let it pass.
All right.
It's again, 13 soundtrack is a bop.
Yeah, because it's original 13, and it's like, I am going to admit any disdain that I have for the soundtrack is not because I think it's bad. I'm just petty and don't care for the game.
Yeah, the soundtrack's actually really fucking good. If it wasn't for Dissidia Duodecim, I would have never given the soundtrack a chance. And hearing this theme in the Dissidia remix, or well, not really remix, just completed sound font like we're hearing right now, this is a really good fucking battle theme. Because it shifts genres like per paradigm shift.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Oh yeah, fucking Chunsot.
Yep.
I'll do you one better, Kags. They were the original developers of the first Dragon Quest games on like NES as well.
I would be happy to do Mystery Dungeon. I heard it's actually a really good game. It's got really good rating.
Oh yeah, no. Especially the updated release of the DS one, Explorers of the Sky, I think it was.
One of them.
I never got to play that one, but I have heard nothing but good things.
Y'all gonna change the channel? It's gonna screen burn. It is a CRT.
And I imagine it's like a UK situation where it's like Shinra Electric Power Company News 4 or whatever. Also, the fact this thing hasn't exploded from being hit with fucking pressure water is a miracle on its own.
You would be surprised how resilient CRT TVs are.
I would be, because people are still using them to play Smash, unfortunately. I think that's a moment where we can condone euthanasia, right? But specifically for electronics?
If you well, okay, for electronics, yes. What's even funnier is somebody actually found a way to like reliably replicate the CRT effect on a computer screen. Like, it's actually been properly emulated now. The only thing we're missing is just the reduction of delay.
Oh yeah, people have been coming up with shit like no joke, people have actually been developing rollback for emulated PS1 games.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, Parsec has rollback, but I don't think it was officially by game.
Yeah, they're trying to find like a blanket way to more or less inject rollback into emulated PS1 fighting games.
What the fuck is a Fortnite burger? We just look on the menu and there's just the fucking ghost kitchen that's just like Mr. Beast burger. Oh, have you heard about that?
The fact that his burgers suck and cause food poisoning?
No. It's because they're all ghost kitchens.
Oh my god.
Where they like run a kitchen menu out of a restaurant, and the excuse is it's keeping people employed. When the reality of it is it's just overworking the people who are still there.
I can hear Anthony Bourdain turning in his grave like a turbine. We could hook wires to him and power half of fucking Michigan.
Yeah, there's literally an Eddie Burback video on Ghost Kitchens and him just having a conniption about it. Understandably so.
Is that the guy who looks like a depressed dog turned into a human?
Yeah, I would say so. The former other half of the Gus and Eddie podcast before Gus Johnson decided to become a piece of shit.
All right.
I don't know why he's trying to come back having a career after being not only abusive, but abusive to somebody with an actual medical condition.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yep. Not only that, but one of the places that we personally enjoy is a ghost kitchen as well.
Really?
Thrilled Cheese is a ghost kitchen.
Fuck.
I thought it was local for the longest time, but it's actually just Denny's.
Oh, boy.
Fortunately, we lived near a very high rating health code Denny's, but...
Which is a rare sentence.
Oh, cynicism you never thought. Damn, it looks like the upper plate of Shinra fell in his place.
Midgard.
I mean, you could say Midgar is still Shinra, but, you know, considering the amount of logos
apparently
were
the thing that explains what happened is basically a bunch of Don Corneo's men came in, and not only did they tear up the place, according to Tifa, they ordered a bunch of fucking food, and when they were ripping the place up, they just, like, threw it all over the fucking bar.
Oh.
And that's, like, anyone who has worked in food service for any amount of time probably has an idea of people who have done something like that and have a visceral reaction.
Shout out to my brave warriors at Waffle House.
Oh my god.
I will call them food service warriors without being, like, mocking about it.
Food service world warriors.
Ghost Kitchen Phantom Chef is my favorite DS game.
Funnily enough, when I lived in the Atlanta area, I never went to a Waffle House that often, but both times it was apparently so early in the morning that I avoided the entire fucking PvP zone in Georgia.
Honestly, like, as much as people give shit to Waffle House, the food's actually not bad. It's just waffles.
I imagine it depends on what you get, because like their hash browns aren't bad.
Yeah, no, like they actually cook the food correctly, and it's literally just waffles and breakfast food all,
it was
all day.
It was a nice pick me up because we were I think it was when we were going to see upstate to see the fucking eclipse a couple of years ago.
The Waffle House disaster code still exists, by the way. It's apparently officially recognized now.
Really?
Yeah, it's the dumbest shit ever.
Oh my god. I'm from the South, and we love the awful waffle.
Yep.
Did you have were Waffle Houses a thing when you lived in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Waffle Houses are like from the 60s.
Okay.
They've been around.
Yeah, that explains the lettering actually.
Yeah, they've been around.
My opinion of Waffle House was a bit skewed when I went with my family as a kid. There was an ant infestation. Holy shit.
Ooh, that's like the world's most unlucky Waffle House.
Ding ding.
Just the most satisfying shit ever.
I love that they take this shit so seriously. They actually go into metrics of how do we make the levels as satisfying as realistically possible.
I'm gonna be real, the fact that the devs love hearing that people call this game an antidepressant, that like this actually does help people cope with certain things, just non-specific things. I don't know off the top of my head, but the devs do. I have seen the devs be really happy, or at least the social media manager be really happy that people treat this game.
Oh yeah,
like
the social media manager, whoever's the social media manager, is really fucking funny because I think they've actually gone on record shaming a couple of streamers that played this game for fucking lewd jokes and making jokes about like making them the next Powerwash target.
Oh, I would love that.
That's so fucking good.
Oh, just fucking power washing fucking XQC's house.
Power wash your sins away. Last time I went to a Waffle House is when I was moving, and I swear the Waffle House was like actually abandoned and was run by hobos in disguise.
Kagura, we got like, if you don't move out this way, we gotta at least have you over to visit. Because, like, genuinely, you would love Seattle.
The only downside is that you would be relatively closer to the place where they make Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah, because that's in Everett.
Yep. You have made jokes about, like, if we wanted to, and this is a joke, I am putting on record, this is a joke, but if we wanted to, we could march up there and do very dirty deeds dirt cheap. Then again, they're already doing them dirt cheap since they're dumping Funko Pops in landfills.
I was about to say, we don't have to. We just have to worry about the vinyl whatever that they're made out of, the polyvinyl chloride that it's made out of, wafting down here.
Oh god,
I'm forever not happy about that.
I'm getting a little bit of fucking schadenfreude from the fact that Funko's business model has always been producing a shitload of cheap merch so they can choke out competition, and now it's biting them in the ass because they have more merch than they could ever realistically move.
They to quote, decommodified their own commodity.
Yep.
Oh, I fucking made a remark recently about like Bitcoin, and I used the same argument about Bitcoin.
Congratulations, you cleaned the
I'm
entire
watching that
floor
in the
one
replay.
sweep.
I made a joke about, or a remark about, how anytime somebody says that they're trying to decommodify something, to decentralize, decommodify, and democratize something, it's immediately going to be a scam. Ironically, that is this exact, well, not really ironically, intentionally, that's the exact same argument that certain people are making to push AI artists or AI art on people. Democratize, decommodify, and decentralize art. And everyone's just like, but that's not how art works.
To all the fucking AI art people saying shit like this and more, how about D's nuts?
Gotta throw in the fourth D.
Yep, the fourth D. D's fucking nuts right here.
Democratize, decommodify, and decentralize D's nuts.
Just do the fucking Beetlejuice thing where for some reason every time you grab your crotch it honks like a car.
Oh no.
I wonder, is that the only time he says fuck in the whole movie?
The Tim Burton movie?
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I know they swear a lot more in the musical.
Yeah, because, like, Beetlejuice was not supposed to be a kid-friendly thing.
Yeah, like from the beginning. It was actually envisioned as more of like a straight-up horror film, and then Ghostbusters happened, and the studio was like, okay, how about we get our own version of this? And Burton was like, fucking, okay,
Whatever.
why not?
Oop, there's that wall. Can I get the barrel? Can I get the countertop?
I still think about how in the musical they toned down the whole thing of Beetlejuice marrying Lydia as the supernatural equivalent of a green card, in his words, and one.
What?
Yeah, because remember, the whole thing was he wanted to marry Lydia to come back to the mortal world, and in the musical, they continually make jokes about how fucked up that sounds from Beetlejuice, because he does not feel anything romantically to the teenage girl. He just wants to use her as a fucking asset in his plans.
Jesus.
And one of the songs even makes fun of people who would see something like that as okay. Like there is genuinely a bit where, in a song called Creepy Old Guy, where they all slowly look towards the audience and hold a note as they say, I don't know why people think something like this would be okay. The musical's pretty good, by the way.
I bet. It's probably by the same people who did, I would not be surprised if Meow Wolf was responsible.
I think the main writer or like songwriter or something is someone named Eddie Perfect, something like that.
Oh, one of the dudes who did one of the versions of Rebo. Like, the dude does not so thinly veiled political Broadways all the time. I know enough about Broadways to know that name.
I think it's kind of fucking funny that I used to be one of those kids who scoffed at the idea of theater, and then the moment I started embracing being queer, I was just like, oh, wait, no, theater's fucking awesome.
I've never honestly thought theater was not awesome. It was just another form of creativity to me.
Yeah, no, that was just me being a dumb kid who didn't know better because I grew up in the sticks.
I had a good theater teacher who actually, I can cite, influenced a good bit of my rating.
Is this the one with the whole being dead thing song? Yes, it is, Kagura. Yes, it is. Oh my god, that song is so fucking catchy.
Give me a moment here. Give me the album.
Playing Guild Wars 2 while listening to the stream, and I just met Jade Stream Shun, a guy who represents a class who does Iai Jutsu with a gunblade.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to search it, aren't I? There we go.
Just get the whole fucking Final Fantasy V soundtrack playing over FF7. Why not?
Yep. Look, I adore that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, no.
That
I'm
is-
fucking. I'm still glad the Pixel remaster version did such a good job when we played it on stream.
Like, I am genuinely of the mindset that to this day that is my favorite Final Fantasy. Just because it's the most. Well, looking back at it now, it's not nearly as light plot. The reality of it is, it's just one singular message: take care of your goddamn planet. But yeah. Oh yeah, no. Like I really wish they still gave us the advanced classes, but I'm not gonna complain that we didn't get them.
In like the grand scheme of things, we were not missing much.
No, we really were. That's why I'm not gonna complain about not getting them.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that when we played it on stream, we were able to show off some of the like really funny ways that you can completely chump out bosses in that game.
Did we do Mimic as well?
We did get mime, yeah.
Okay.
We didn't get to show it off much because I wasn't able to do enough grinding to get some of the stuff that makes mime really funny.
Yeah, Mime is one of those classes that requires like...
It requires a hefty bit of investment to make work. But if you can make it work, it's like the best mage class in the game.
Mm-hmm.
What I am glad I got to do was show off the fucking way that you can chump out Twintania when it does its charging attack.
That was good.
That and one that apparently you didn't know, if I'm remembering the stream correctly, was how you can beat the Sandworm boss in like almost one hit, because for some reason, despite Aqua Breath being coded as non-elemental, they make up for it by also adding a factor where any creature classified as dwelling from the desert takes 8 times damage from it.
God, I did not know about that. To this day, that blows my mind. Like, that game had way more nuance than I, to this day, give it credit for.
Like that shit is why, looking back, I love FF so much, because they put so much weird quirks into the games that make them stand out mechanically, as well as story experiences.
TV, please wash.
Like,
I want to play Pepsi Man on
talking
you.
to someone who was playing FF7 for the first time, topically enough, and when you fight Palmer as a boss in Rocket Town when you're trying to get the tiny Bronco, he is coded as being immune to sleep. However, if you attack him with a weapon that has added effect plus sleep materia, he takes bonus damage. A lot of people theorize this is meant to be a joke about Japanese office work culture.
You know, that's fair.
Dragon Quest XI is verified. Dragon Quest XI's Definitive Edition is only playable for Steam Deck.
Oh, that's lame. I'm pretty sure it's actually verified, but not like verified in the sense that that other games are being verified lately, because Valve changed some of the requirements for verification to make it so that it has to be like actually tested through Steamworks now. Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they know what they're doing with a lot of the verification stuff, though, because like I have heard no complaints from anyone I know about the Steam Deck.
I mean, we're literally on one right now.
Exactly.
Like, I've debated on if we ever do a VR stream, swap it or installing OBS onto this thing and using it as a capture PC.
I hope we do, because I've wanted to do a VR stream for a while, ever since you let me loose on fucking Job Simulator or whatever it was, and was just trying to not lose your shit at watching what happens when you put me in a fucking VR playground.
We need room. When it happens, we'll start the first actual VR stream with Half-Life Alyx. I own it. I want to play it so bad.
Oh, fucking Alyx.
I heard it's amazing.
That's gonna be so fucked up though, because my first exposure to seeing gameplay of Alyx, apart from a few clips on Twitter, was through Wayne's Gnome streams.
You can still see a good chunk of the really good gameplay.
I know. It's just I'm not going to be able to see much of it without hearing a little voice in the back of my head going, "You have failed the challenge."
This stream is sponsored by Marlboro. Wash down your polar seltzer with some Windex.
Gordon, my cigarette meter is low. Give me that smooth menthol taste.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Okay. Watch your volume a little bit.
Alright.
If it wasn't for the fact that YouTube Let's Watches are currently being pretty well frowned upon, I would be like, let's just make it a stream goal to marathon.
Oh yeah,
the entire Wayne Radio.
I could. There were a couple moments where I could hear you snickering, Kags, where it's like even when I'm like having my like very downplayed fucking Hank Hill ass reactions off of stream, where I'm like a bit more sedate. Which makes it even funnier because most of the time I use a Chris from Deltarune avatar, which feels a little prophetic after I came out as being non-binary, huh?
Almost. Oh, did y'all do a share watch of some of them?
Share watch?
Yeah, were y'all watching on Discord together?
Oh, fucking... I think we did or something like that. I know he showed me a feature that VR chat supports where if it's an area with like certain screens, like there was a recreation of the Novak apartment from Fallout New Vegas, and if you can import videos correctly, I couldn't figure out how to make it work on my client, but you can genuinely watch YouTube videos and shit on TVs that are rigged up to support that.
Good.
So like you could genuinely chill out in a fucking Fallout post nuclear apocalypse apartment and sit on a TV watching Russian cooking videos or some shit if you want. The Novak one is actually coded to be black and white. Oh, that's so good.
That is good. Also, Kagura, the only reason I'm going to say right now, the only reason I haven't really jumped into VR chat is because I actually want to commission an avatar. I just don't know who to talk to.
I kind of want to go back to VR chat at some point just because it was fun to have something to hang out with you in, but also now that Trails to Azure has come out, I am officially going to be actually playing the available Trails games my fucking second career, I guess.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that those games are so painfully long, I'd be like, I want to stream them, and it'd be on my solo streams, but like
those are great games if you want to feel like everything you do has some sort of influence or reward, but also there's so much shit to do. Oh my god. The one thing that I don't get is why in the Sky games you could just see enemy data out the gate, but then starting in the Crossbell games they were like, no, you gotta scan them now like Tales to Vesperia or some shit.
Letting that alarm go off. Clean the pipes. Clean the pipes. Get some pipe washers.
Yep.
What's up? Oh, me just saying clean the pipes?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being literal.
I mean...
Unlike certain other streamers, I try to be relatively free of sin.
We have plenty of ways that help us clean the pipes. It's called Pepto-Bismol, okay? I can't believe how amazing this place looks, and you're not even finished.
Oh, I know. It is like...
like, the Remake 7 has really fucking good vibes.
If it's who I think it is, I actually have something coming from them. Not a VR chat thing, though. I may actually talk to...
I need help with final preparations for that job in Sector 1, so I've got to run, but I'll have Cloud come by and give the place a once-over when you're done. So there's that confirmation that, yes, this is before the actual events of FF7 proper.
Alright, no. Fucking free barrel clean.
Yeah, no, like, I dig when they give you that mercy clean when it's like, oh, yeah, no, this patch is going to be behind a wall, who gives a crap?
Okay, no, that's fair. It may not be the same person, but an artist that I'm working with has recently started making VR chat avatars. I don't think they're doing commissions yet, but I've also genuinely have considered getting an avatar from them. It may not be Naya though, because I have a few. I have a few characters that I would love to see turn into like 3D models.
Like Lori?
No, my Tanuki is one of them. Which is a self-insert character. Sort of. It's literally me saying self-insert is me just shying around saying it's a persona. When I really shouldn't care. Like, what the fuck are
they
people
at the Emperor Arcana, or are they like the fucking...
Oh my god. Fucking high ground, huh?
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's the
Oh, did that one already finish?
Oh, no, there's one more.
Oh, I'll check it here in a moment. My phone is currently out of my reach. Oh yeah, have we finished everything on the walls? I think we finished everything on the walls, right?
I think so.
Or at least
unless
everything on
someone's
the
in the walls.
ground.
Are they in the goddamn walls?
I think they were in the goddamn walls. Okay. I'll check it out here in a bit. Probably during a BRB. Back to yellow or green. My precious green. Also, there is officially count them one, non-toxic subreddit on Reddit now.
Really?
It is the Steam Deck subreddit.
Oh boy. I mean, we're also talking about a congregation of PC gamers, so give it time.
No, it's the Steam Deck subreddit has been up for a while, and all the toxic people went to form their own subreddit that's currently dead because all they were doing is bitching about the things the Steam Deck couldn't do. And every time it gets brought up, somebody goes to the official Steam Deck subreddit and asks that question, and they go, "Oh yeah, here's the commands for it. Here, I'll make a bash script for you."
It turns out Kina is in the walls. Kina just fucking smashes open a wall like the Kool-Aid Man and screams about whether or not you're open on Wednesdays. You glance over to a calendar that says it is currently Friday, and when you say yes, they just go, "Thank you," and walk away. They used the door that time, funnily enough.
Kina just comes in with a fucking top hat and everything.
Yeah, somehow the fucking chef toque makes the hole with the rest of their body.
Kina's great. Did we ever actually finish Kina's storyline in 9?
No, because it required catching 100 frogs.
Oh, lame.
It does lead to a boss fight with their master, though.
I almost feel like we should have done that, but we were also leaving stuff.
Not to mention the fact that the frogs take a certain amount of in-game time to respawn.
Yeah.
So we couldn't, even with a fast forward, I don't know if we would have been able to like spoof that a little.
Probably not.
Because it's one of those fast forwards that doesn't affect the game clock, so I don't think it would have worked. Which I'm thankful is also the case for Trails to Azure, because apparently one of the secret mission requirements is to beat a boss fight in 5 real-world minutes.
Wait, hold up, Malkin, what? Hold up, what? Yes, we're seeing this live on stream.
Okay.
To the point store. Store home. Okay, how do you get to the point store on the Steam Deck? I'm upset. I have like no money. It's a really bad time for money, and like the spring sale is going on. Trying to figure that out. Because there's a heh. Sorry, I love the Final Fantasy V soundtrack. Fuck it. I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
Literally just stop the stream just to get the fucking
just
custom
to see if for once there's something worth using Steam points for.
Oh no, I literally have everything related to the Steam Deck for store points. Like, I actually spent a bulk majority of my store points getting stuff. They, in fact, when you buy a Steam Deck, give you enough store points to buy explicitly everything on the point store for the Steam Deck, even if with the lowest end model. Well, lowest end being a very loosely used term, considering they're all the same. Looking at you, Sony. Microsoft too. Fuck you. Oh, but our smaller hard drive model has less RAM because that's not required to run those hard drives. That's not how hard drives work. That is not how hard drives work. Actually had an argument with somebody at work about that too.
Really? And
A
you
customer.
worked an IT job at that.
Yeah, a customer. At this point, IT job is a very loose definition because they're starting to shift responsibilities around again.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to actually look for a new job.
Like, is it feeling like it's becoming HostWinds 2.0?
It's starting to, yeah.
Oh no.
Like I'm gonna be looking for a 100% remote job because no IT job, no tech support job should be hybrid or work in an office anymore. We have the infrastructure to support work from home in Seattle. There should be no reason why somebody's going, oh, but we don't know if we actually really need work from home.
There is a reason, they just don't want to admit it, and that's the prices on the fucking office buildings that they paid for, like, skyscrapers and shit.
William Kastner. Marcus and Millichap and William Kastner are both companies that are actively lobbying right now for laws to go in about working from home now, about whether or not you can work from home.
Hopefully in favor of it.
No.
Oh.
They're both real estate companies.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. They have a vested interest in ensuring that company offices are still being bought, because if they can't make money, they are going to be the first to say that the economy is going to shit. It's so fucked. And thank you, Malkin. Profile edit. Okay, well, I can't do that on stream. For reasons. Malkin, if you look at my Steam icon, you'll understand why. Though I am sorely tempted, if they ever make it a point store reward, if they have a Half-Life Alyx Gnome icon, I will be setting that for a little while.
Yeah.
Every single time I do a stream, I'll be setting it. It's the pirate theme. AKA the unofficial theme for the Pirate Bay.
And then if we ever do, like, multiplayer streams where I'm in my room, that means I have to set my icon to be Peppa Pig or something.
I mean, if Wayne is having enough influence on the industry now without realizing it, then he does. We may be getting gnome icons for both colors that do exist in the game.
I mean, the gnome's also been a meme since, like, Left 4 Dead.
No, that's true. AKA trans icon captain, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Your favorite Final Fantasy protagonist is trans. Ferris? Yep.
Like, it's not a coincidence that I've seen so many people who I know or know of that are trans women look at Ferris and go, honestly, goals.
It's the same thing with how, like, Samus is supposed to be canonically trans as well.
Really?
There was an interview with a few, like, way back in the day, with one of the designers for Samus Aran in Metroid, and he wanted her to be trans.
Huh.
Way back in 1992.
Gee,
Which
it's almost like the
fuck.
idea of trans identities has always existed, and it's only recently people have begun kicking and screaming and shitting their diapers over it.
Mm-hmm. It's because the old people are. I've made a remark about this in a number of servers, and I've gotten a lot of people going ooh about me saying it. But out of everybody who's concerned about snowflake culture, it happens to be the most snowflakiest of them all.
Yep.
Republicans.
Yep. 100%. Especially with those emails that show corroboration between anti-trans groups and politicians. So it turns out, much like a lot of the early anti-gay culture, it is manufactured outrage
Yes.
for fucking clout.
Malkin, I absolutely have. Like, supposedly there's a Governor Inslee one as well. Because the Washington governor is also being a little shitter.
Also, hey, Trank, you just missed us talking about how transphobes are the weakest people on the planet and could easily be beaten by any fucking trans person if they blew on them.
And yes, welcome back, Tranquillus.
Trans people have existed since ancient Greek, probably earlier. I could believe that.
Yeah, it's actually a cultural and religious thing in some regions. Also, the fact that K.A. Applegate is an absolute fucking gift.
I mean, yeah, no, you can just find a rock outside. They can't stop you. Yep. Or not even a rock, like a very firm branch, depending on where you live, and that would be all you need.
Wait, do you not know about the author of Animorphs, K.A. Applegate?
I never read those books.
So, the author is very proud to have a trans child.
Bitchin'.
Yeah.
We finally found the Bizarro World version of J.K. Rowling.
Precisely, actually. K.A. Applegate is awesome. I've been seeing her tweets pop up from other people when I brought up how fucking wild Animorphs actually is.
Isn't there... I remember hearing whispers about it. Isn't there a book where they fucking go back in time and one of them kills Hitler or something?
Yes, that's the one that they made after Animorphs was wrapped up. But one of the characters in Animorphs openly gets convicted of war crimes.
Fucking what?
Yes. It is actually canonical that, like... It became very clear after a while that Scholastic... I almost said Scholastic hit. Scholastic just stopped reading the books and just started blindly publishing them. And,
like they did with Stephen King, except good. No, but guys, the Dark Tower is all right. Cool.
Yeah, fine, whatever. But, yeah, no, like, there are, it was also going to be American JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because there's, 90s rock references in some of the, the books. Like, there is actually things that they wanted to call Red Hot Chili Peppers and Aerosmith and all that shit. Offspring. It was going to become American JoJo's.
Literally fucking... Oh my god.
Like, I am convinced that they actually have read JoJo's. Even back then.
Depending on how long ago, they might have been able to get access to the old OVAs for Stardust Crusaders.
But yeah, some of the characters were actually, like, wrote in ways that should not typically be in children's book. I say as one of my favorite novelists from Japan also writes children's novels that shouldn't be children's novels.
Well, also in Japan, they have very different guidelines for what constitutes children's media than ours. Like, remember, the fucking Dragon Ball manga could be surprisingly gory when it wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But there were moments, even in OG Dragon Ball, where little kid Goku would fucking crack someone's head open like an egg.
Yup. But yeah, one of the plot points of Animorphs is one of the kids that gets the ability to turn into an animal uses it as a permanent form of escapism to turn into an eagle to escape his abusive parents.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
Oh, so look, I picked up Salt 2. It's absolutely close to Sea of Thieves without people being jerks. Needs multiplayer ship combat and NPC ships to be nothing but that.
Yep. It even has the banana jokes. Like, it's actually really fun.
Banana jokes?
In Sea of Thieves, there's one of the food items that a lot of people are fond of is bananas. They call them the crunch.
Crunch?
Crunch. You don't peel the banana to eat it.
Oh.
You eat that bitch.
No.
You saw us do it in front of you when we were streaming it. We may stream it again in the future.
I forgot. I genuinely forgot.
They're fucking Rare is getting ready to add an MSQ to fucking Sea of Thieves.
Actually, considering all the other fruit stuff, did they ever add durians in there?
Yeah, I believe durians were in.
Oh
Sea
my
of Thieves.
god. Because I'm thinking about how Greg from How to Drink was testing the waters of doing like drinks inspired by like classic anime and stuff, and he wanted to make a devil fruit themed cocktail for One Piece, so he used durian.
Ooh.
The problem with that is I believe Greg actually fucking hates durians.
I mean, they kind of taste like shit. I don't even think the people who actually live in the region where durians are native like durians.
So fun fact, Joe Griffin McElroy straight up did that on camera when they did a trailer for Sea of Thieves on E3. What?
Yup.
Wait, is that the McElroy who didn't know how to follow the red X in Nier?
Oh, one of these days we do gotta let that go.
I will let it go when it stops being funny, regardless of whether or not it turns out to have been a bit. Because if it turns out to have been a bit, fucking good on him. He found the perfect way to subtly needle people's OCD.
That's fair.
It was already a meme, but it took off after that. No, that's the one who put an amiibo in his mouth. Okay.
Trident saves the day again. We almost done?
I think all you're missing is like cleaning some, like some stuff over there and like the fucking rafters. Could be worse. Could be a games journalist who couldn't complete a tutorial. I think the thing that fucks me up is, if I'm remembering correctly, the guy who played Cuphead badly actually does support some like really genuinely heinous opinions.
Yeah.
But more people are concerned with he played video game badly than that, which is a lot of video game journalist discourse in a nutshell, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. One of our mutual friends, Middles, kind of knocked some sense into our heads about that.
Because it's like fucking... Like, the amount of people who love to get on games journalists for every minor infraction, I'm just sitting here as someone who is a kid active on Tumblr thinking, did y'all just fucking forget Gamergate existed, you idiots? I saw that little eye twitch. I know you have no comment, do you?
Just in hell. Reading back on Gamergate, I don't think it was ever meant to be well-intentioned.
No, it never was. It was nothing more than a fucking revenge scheme between a fucking jilted ex-boyfriend against his ex-girlfriend, who may or may not have been a piece of shit. I do not know, and I don't care to know.
Oh, that another thou who shall not be named, because she also turned out to be a TERF?
No, I genuinely forget her name.
Oh.
Because I don't care.
No, that's fair. I'm not going to bring up her name, but it begins with an S, and a lot of people were... It actually is why Gamergate was formed. It was because of dispute between those two.
It was because a dispute between those two went fucking wild after someone stirred up a bunch of shit on 4chan, and it became a whole movement for people to target folks in the game industry they didn't like.
Yeah, and it was never meant to be well-intentioned.
It was never meant to be well-intentioned, and unfortunately, because of the language they used, it brought up a bunch of well-intentioned, but unfortunately ignorant people into it.
Like, there were some people who wanted to do well, that were part of it.
Poseidon trembles before them, random citizen pointing towards the power washer. They actually have an achievement where you can find a dead pirate skeleton named Griffin who has unpeeled bananas where his stomach would be.
Yeah. I've actually found that one. I don't think it gave me the achievement.
Are those actual pictures on the fridge?
Hmm? Oh!
Oh yeah, those are like actual sort of blurry images of Barrett.
Angie. Barrett?
Yeah, that's like daughter. That's his general body shape in that lower one right there holding fucking Marlene's hand.
Mm-hmm. The first disc of fucking 7 I'm actually pretty familiar with. It's what comes after that, which apparently is a very common thing that everybody just kind of forgot that part of the plot really railroads itself.
Yeah, because you like the more I think about the story, that the actual development time of Final Fantasy 7 once they wrapped up pre-production was like 9 months. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, if you wanted to say 11 too, I think like it, with the exception of 16, like
Well, part of that is also the fact that, remember, Square back in the day had that 2-year time limit on development, and it's still unclear whether or not that accounted for pre-production.
yeah, Final Fantasy. Also, Final Fantasy 16 is going to be the first game that was developed start to finish without crunch.
Yep.
Well,
And
not
with,
counting 14.
yeah, and with like some minor delays, but not like big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't remember if the release date got moved majorly at all
It got
beyond just
shifted.
it's happening.
I think it got shifted, but it was like shifted before really early on.
But boy howdy is it something after how many delays 15 went through to hear Yoshida just say literally in an interview, unless a meteor falls on Japan, this game is coming out at the date that we set.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure with him saying that, every time he's ever said that something is happening on a specific date, it's been because it's ready to ship.
Yeah.
The one, and while a lot of people will sit there and go, "Oh, Yoshida is not the baby that everybody says he is treating him as," and I'm like, no. After actually looking at all the fully translated interviews by professional translators, 90% of the quotes that people have complaints with Yoshida on were taken out of context.
Or they were just looking at headlines and didn't read the full thing. Or it's just some things that might be minor quibbles that I can understand, like making the stuff that would be accessibility features in-game accessories instead of toggles. That I can definitely understand being annoyed with.
That was also taken out of context.
Was it?
Yes. So supposedly the reason why it was decided to be accessories is because your accessories aren't going to do much to begin with.
Isn't that sort of an indictment of a whole subsystem then for customization?
We'll find out when the game comes out because we're probably going to stream it when it hits PC.
Because usually accessories and like
you.
are I didn't get a fucking drink. I don't have anything. I could just get some water during the break and I'll do it later. It's a massive argument on r/MMORPG and what Yoshida meant by if you keep cheating, we'll review the concept of ultimate.
So there was some clarification on that on the boards in the JP side. They talked about just outright no longer doing them.
Yeah, because I think his exact words in the developer blog addressing it were, if people are going to be approaching the content this way, then it is making us seriously consider why we would even waste time making it.
Mm-hmm. They would rather put in the time and resources on content people are going to openly enjoy instead of gatekeep, which is what was happening with Ultimates.
Gatekeep/cheat their way through on day one.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there was no like no words to mince about it. Like the line was, if this continues, we're probably not gonna make Ultimates anymore.
Check the fucking Raptors
There's
or
a few
something,
more.
because you might be missing some of those. Oh,
microwave.
Remember to remove Dr. Magnuson's casserole first before you turn it on.
Hello, Gordon.
That's still one of my favorite little details that I need to actually play Black Mesa, but apparently in that game, they add a bunch of retroactive references to Half-Life 2, and one of them is a security guard looks at you when you blow up the microwave casserole and goes, "You better run, Gordon. That was you-know-whose lunch." Okay, there's a stain over there. There you go.
That wasn't even what I was trying to clean.
No, it's fine.
Don't worry about it. Honestly, I believe a lot of the retroactive stuff that they added was approved by Valve anyways.
Oh yeah, no, because Valve was like the most chill about it that I have heard any company ever be. Not only did they give the game their stamp of approval, they only had 2 mandates for the game that would have allowed them to put it on Steam officially. First of all, they couldn't put Source in the title as they were going to originally, because that would apply it was a official Valve product, which is fair. The second mandate, the moment the game finishes and goes gold, they get first dibs to play it. And one of the level designers has actually gone on record saying, I would rather play Black Mesa than Half-Life 1 if I want to play Half-Life 1.
That's a hell of a praise.
Yeah, it is.
Alright. Some of these, like, spot misses are just really weird.
Because it's like you missed this little teeny corner, so you didn't get the full. Oh my god. No, that I can get because of the geometry of the stools. There's probably some gunk underneath.
Oh, I can't go under the table.
Supposedly, there are people trying to do just that with the old Half-Life 1 expansion packs.
Oh, go back and port them into Source 2?
Yeah. Well, just Source, maybe Source 2.
I'm sorry, Source 1.5, because I believe it's not officially Source 2.
The fucking Half-Life 2 engine, we'll say that for simplicity.
No, Portal 2 engine, because Portal 2 is the first one that uses Source 1.5.
Yeah, but development on Black Mesa started in, like, 2004. Like, it started the moment, pretty much days after Half-Life 2 came out.
Fair enough.
The funny thing is, even though it took so long for it to officially come out, according to the people who actually worked on it, they said, looking at our total number of man-hours spent genuinely working on the game, it actually was about equivalent to a major upscale AAA game project. It's just the fact that we spaced it out as like a hobby that made it take so long.
Good on them. Honestly, more game devs should be doing that. What happened to the days where a Final Fantasy was like, you know, a whole ass generation later?
I mean, depending on how 16 goes, we may harken back to that.
Where we actually get games that try to be their own identity instead of trend chasing. Like, as much as I love 15, because 15 is still a good game, it's incomplete, but it was a trend chaser.
It kind of was, because there were a lot of things going for the open world model. Not to mention there were people openly saying that it looked like it was trying to ape the sudden success of Xenoblade once it finally came out in North America, and you could not find a Wii copy if you tried. So
oh my god, are you serious? We may have to stream that Splatfest.
Oh my god. I still haven't found time to actually buy and play Splatoon 3, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
It's good. It's very good. It's full of a lot of tryhards still because they haven't added a major competitive
I mean, it's
mode.
an online FPS. You're going to get some people who are
It's
really
not an
fucking
FPS,
sweaty.
but yeah. It's actually one of the big reasons why we haven't been streaming it lately is because, like, a lot of the people who spend way too much time playing the game were going out of their way to make everyone's life. Was I T-posing?
I think you were briefly.
Yes. For 2 frames, I was T-posing.
Every time I see the movement in these time lapses, I just want to imagine superimposing the King of the Hill theme.
Yeah, I was T-posing. Or A-posing, I should say. It's my yard! I love that, like, everywhere outside... We had shampoos.
Yeah, I think all the special stages give you a handful of shampoos. Also, fun fact, that is the only text message in the entire pack you get from Cloud Strife.
Oh, it was the ending. Hold up.
Yeah. Hey, Tifa told me I have to make... can't fucking read that from here.
No, this is... Make sure you did your job. Huh, not bad. Done a lot of cleaning as a merc. Yeah, as a merc. You're the real deal. I see you washed my sword, too. All right. Well, all right. We done with the small talk? You got more important things to do. Bye. And then off in the distance. We're definitely going to stream Original 7 at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Either you at the helm or me at the helm. It might be me.
Probably you, because I've played it so many
it.
times, and you've never actually played it start to finish.
Yeah.
And I hope to be... Because, like, it seems like the more you've talked with me, the more I have actually been the one person to convince you of, yeah, this game is genuinely good, instead of worshipping it like a religion.
You actually have been the only person to just be like, yeah, it's good. Everyone else just be like,
but like the moment they start talking about it, they rip off their shirts and they get so hard that their dick rips a hole in their pants, regardless of their assigned gender.
I got my balls tattooed to look like materia.
Yep.
It's like, fucking for real. I don't doubt FF7 is good. It's just
It's just we're
motherfucking
both
looking like a
ornery.
can of beans over here. Anyways, only recently have I had people actually stop, like, trying to Danganronpa me with that shit.
Yep.
Which is even funnier because, like, I think it's hilarious that now that I can officially link to people, yeah, I can see why Homestuck is fun. Nobody brings up Homestuck to me anymore. Because I was just so level-headed about it, nobody knows how to treat it. I was like,
what the fuck happened to our Midgar model? Bomber pizza party, yeah! So, a couple things. First of all, Reeve mentions that some of Hojo's monstrosities broke out, got into the floor, and just basically pissed and shit all over this thing, to use some different language. Second of all, I think he mentions that the model is on the 60th floor, which is incorrect. In the original FF7, it's supposed to be on like the 63rd or 64th floor. And I remember this thing because there was a minor puzzle in OG FF7 where you have to find individual parts and fit them onto the model to eventually unlock a treasure chest that gets you another keycard to further go up the upper floors of the Shinra building.
I mean, Kagura beat me to it. The Midgar outskirts, something you don't actually see in the core game itself.
No, I think you were meant to, going by an old design doc that actually labels some of these, because
like
apparently there is some place outside of one of the incomplete sectors that is just labeled Corpse Mountain, and I'm like, I'm sorry, fucking what?
It's literally Grey Hill from One Piece.
Yep.
Forever my favorite, like, quote-unquote unintentional political commentary of One Piece was
what,
that
you're saying One Piece is political?
Getting political, are we?
Apparently right-wing One Piece fans exist, and they're the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet.
They think One Piece isn't political?
Yep.
Oh my god. It is like one of the most political shows
Luffy is
ever.
literally a fucking revolutionary. What are they on about?
Not only Luffy, but his dad as well.
Which of his dads?
Oh yeah, he has technically multiple dads, doesn't he?
Technically speaking, despite never meeting him, he takes conspicuously after Gold D. Roger.
Slight One Piece spoilers, even though well, hold up. Let me wait a second. Okay. Even though yeah, the Navy literally sets all the laws. Well, okay, no, technically no. It's the world government that sets all the laws.
The world nobles.
Oh yeah. The noble dragons.
Yeah, they literally, their alternate name is the fucking Celestial Dragons, because apparently Oda wanted them to come off like pretentious fucking 2008 forum role players.
Ooh. Anyways, yeah, even though Trace is actually the son of Gold Roger.
Yeah, I think Ace is his biological son, but for some reason Luffy takes more after him, and they don't really address it beyond it might be connected to the will of D.
More than likely that's the case. Because everyone has the mark of D.
Yeah, because like everyone who has the middle initial D is apparently connected to the will of D, and it seems to have some influence over their destiny. Like, apparently that's why inevitably Luffy was going to get the Gum Gum Fruit anyway, because of that. Regardless of whatever Shanks did.
It was preordained.
Good to have you in the Shinra building again. Even though it might not be... Even though it might... it's hard to read it. Even though I might not be where I am today without the company's stunning... there we go. Even though I might not be where I am today without the company's stunning achievements in Mako technology, I have rarely visited this exhibit, and I believe I finally understand why. It forces me to come face to face with the fact that what I want this city... that what the city has become is no longer what I hoped it'd be.
Oh, we're getting character development too.
Terrible darkness has settled over Midgar, and who knows when it will lift, but I digress.
Which is a bit of a reference that even Team 4-Star kind of started making remarks on in their writing about how Reeve isn't really that much of a villain.
There is a reason why when you look at the totality of Reeves' character, a lot of people point out his resemblances to a sad Keanu Reeves might not be coincidence. Because, like, they sort of allude to it in Original 7, and it might have been downplayed because of the translation. But translations like this, 7 Remake, and yes, Team 4 Star's Machina Bridge Crypt lean far more heavily into the fact that Reeve is kind of fucking upset with the fact that despite being a sitting executive on the biggest corporation, he is deeply unhappy with his life because he's the only one with a fucking heart.
He wanted better for Midgar, and while he wasn't necessarily... This is me showing that, yeah, I do know a little bit of 7's plot, because it's all stuff that's kind of given away in parts of Disc 1.
Yeah, it's the fucking... Rosebud was his sled situation.
Yeah, and, like, he wanted better for a city, but corporation got too big.
Not to mention the fact that they were all corrupt from the onset. Like, they were a fucking weapons manufacturing company to start with.
A PMC. That's what they're called, PMCs.
Yeah, private military contractor, right?
Corporation.
Or private military corporate, if you prefer.
Contractor is, I believe, is like just private military. Whereas
yeah,
PMC
it would be more
is
like you're hiring
corporation.
soldiers.
Yeah. Oh,
But like fucking
Sorry.
Going back to trails, like the fucking Jaegers are PMCs.
Mhm.
Who apparently go through such fucking intense training that even a 16-year-old can fucking beat the shit out of armed paramilitary terrorists with nothing but a Bowie knife.
Then we got the gauntlets, which are also technically a PMC, but not really. Or the bracers, sorry.
They're more of an adventurers guild.
Yeah. I mean, by time Cold Steel kicks off, a little bit spoiler for you, but by time Cold Steel kicks off, the definition of Adventurers Guild kind of takes a backseat, considering.
Yeah,
You're
considering fucking Osborne just fucking... And we are just going to rubber stamp that, and you're done. Okay, get the fuck out of my country.
Well, not only that, but, like, you're starting Azure soon.
Well,
so.
I actually, while I was waiting for Azure to come out, I actually played Cold Steel 1 because
So
it
you already
ends
know.
before Azure, because going by the timeline, Cold Steel 1 actually ends shortly after Chapter 2 of Azure.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't spoil a whole lot beyond a couple of things regarding the West Samaria Trade Conference.
Yeah, you pretty much get, like, 8 catch-22s in the intro, and then goes into, like, the rest of the plot.
Yeah.
Because as much as people say that the Legend of Heroes writers are not good writers and plot hole this, plot hole that, you can tell who actually reads the NPC dialogues and the newspapers that you do get an achievement for, by the way.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that starting with Sky Third, despite what you told me about that initially, the books start becoming canon.
Yeah, and, like, keep in mind when I was saying that, it was before Cold Steel 4. Before I knew about what was going on with Cold Steel 4 and Reverie and a bunch of other things.
Not to mention the fact that there's stuff that comes up in Sky Third that actually is nominally important to Azure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you didn't play Sky Third, you wouldn't know entirely what the fuck is up with Kevin Graham.
I mean, I do believe
I mean, you generally should, because
get
Kevin's
recapped
story in
anyways.
Sky Third is fucking great.
Yeah, like, I've been turned around on Sky 30, even though it was indeed a mobile game at the time, and it then got reported over, and yeah, it stopped being a mobile game and actually became a full-on its own thing.
I don't know where you're getting this. It was a mobile game thing from, because everything I've said it was a PSP game at launch in Japan.
It was like a mobile game. I forgot what all the specifics were, but it's one of the poorly documented at the time things. Somebody was way back in the day when the PC launches were happening. I think it was Mastiff at the time, but now Xseed was bringing up how they're probably not going to do third because the version that they got was a mobile port or a mobile version, which everybody thought was the only version for a third. But it turns out
no, they actually got the proper PSP version because it looks literally the same as second and everything.
Well, it's more than likely what actually ended up happening is an engine port, and the mobile version was the Chinese market version, which the series is also very popular in China.
No, because there was actually some things that
Really?
were censored in later releases that are still present in the English version.
Fair enough.
Specifically, Stardor 15. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fair enough.
The AKA the Star Door that helped me go from, yeah, Ren's kind of an interesting character, to I am fully on board with Estelle putting a child leash on her and dragging her back to Roland if she has to.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I have been turned around on third, but also I've been turned around on a lot of things I knew about third. I genuinely thought it was just a inconsequential mobile game
it
ported
sets up
over.
a lot of both the Crossbell games and Cold Steel, because that is chronologically, in terms of release order, the first game where Lecter and Gileath Osborne show up.
Fair enough.
I also love that I took one look at Osborne and I'm like, okay, I need to look at the cast list for, yep, he is voiced by Joji Nakata. How did I guess that? For those of you who don't know, that is the voice of Saul Bad Guy and Alucard from Hellsing. Oh, yeah.
So I do want to...
Allow me to explain the general layout of Midgar. As you may have noticed, it's divided into 8 sectors, each powered by its own Mako reactor, and at the very center of the city stands the Shinra building. This fucking music. But the city design is predicated on the use of Mako. Perhaps I should explain what that is first. We're getting some little, primers on FF7 lore stuff if you've never played the game, which is cool.
Or not seen the video of Clamps reviewing Dirge of Cerberus, who also goes into an incredible amount of detail about that bit as well. Where he brings up how Mako is more or less planet lifeblood.
Yep. They literally call it the lifeblood of the planet all the way back in the earliest translations. Oh no, you don't have to clean the Sector 7 part. Don't worry about that. Why? Just don't worry about it. Don't drink Mako. It's like the story about the core of a demon.
The world still has no clue what happened to the demon. No, I'm bullshitting. The demon core was destroyed and molecularly disassembled. It was used in a particle collider, I believe. As much as people sit there and go, "Oh, it was used in the nuclear bomb of Hiroshima." No, it was the basis of the bomb. It was not the actual warhead's core.
Don't tell Nomura 14 has the live stream also. He might want to try to drop another meteor in a game. I mean, we've already had that happen.
Yeah, that's
Although, funnily enough, we had the concept of the live stream introduced after the meteor dropped.
Project Meteor. The thing that I genuinely hope that Yoshida turns around and goes, all right, so I'm just going to make a single-player Final Fantasy 12 of 1.0.
Final Fantasy 12?
Final Fantasy 12 style.
Okay. Excuse you, the moon is not a meteor. It is if you apply enough force and pressure.
Said Nail von Darnus as she, took over the role of the White Raven and plunged the Dalamud onto the planet.
Mako is also dead people energy, so cars are powered by the trapped souls of your great-grandma. That's what she gets for going on too many racist spiels at Thanksgiving. That's her problem.
Yo, I didn't know they were using fossil fuels. I had to. I absolutely fucking had to.
The generational divide starts now, old man.
You can tell how good of an old person they are by how quickly they are to accept that culture is either going to leave them behind or they're going to have to adapt to the culture. The ones that choose to adapt to the culture are the good ones.
Like Jane Fonda, who advocates for activism. Activism.
Activism. Guillotine's activism.
I still find it so fucking funny that people think of her as like the quintessential nice old celebrity lady and miss the part where she was actually in support of like the Black Panthers and shit back in the day. Jane Fonda knows what the fuck is up.
Hey, somebody else close to my age.
I'm going to be 30 in a hot minute.
Yep, and your body will start catching up to you.
Boy,
I thought they were bullshitting me. I mean, they were. It didn't happen until I got until halfway into my 30s, but that's beside the point. They said it was gonna happen when I turned 26, and I'm just like, no,
My
it's
body's
not.
already catching up at 25.
So Becky, do you know if you're gonna be one? Do you know if you're gonna be Brain's trying to word this carefully here.
Do you know if you're going to leave behind one of those cool bird skeletons that looks like it was caught mid fucking predation?
Oh, I was more gonna make a remark about how certain nationalities and
How different
just
cultures have different approaches to this sort of thing?
no, just how some the specific nationalities age better than others for some weird reason.
I think it's something to do with. I don't think it's something to do with nationality so much as like how oily your skin is, because apparently
Yeah.
that's what helps halt aging.
That's fair.
Because some people just have naturally oily skin, and that helps keep them fresh.
I'm like really trying to toe around that, but there's really no right way of saying it without actually saying something that's edges on that.
You're
I
trying,
mean, well.
you're trying to find the well-meaning way of phrasing it that doesn't come off as immediately following it up with asking what shape their skull is.
Yeah. It's something that, like, specific regions of birth do affect how well you age. For example, people who have German heritage age like shit. Looking forward to that.
I think we have soap. That might help with the green goop.
Oh, I'm just like doing sector by sector.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's like I'm noticing you're taking a hot minute to actually get the goop off of the reactor heads.
Oh, because I'm
and shit.
using the green. See?
Maybe it's lighter layers or something. I don't know.
No, it's just the green nozzle doesn't really handle stubborn goops.
Yeah, no, that's why
See?
that's why I only use like the red and the
Yellow.
the red and the yellow. Yeah.
I use green
the
when I want to do white
Or the
sweeps.
trident. I tend to use the trident quite a bit. Scottish and indigenous heritage, so I have no idea.
That's a hard call because I've seen some very well-aged Scottish people. Like, I've seen some motherfuckers that were Scottish and looked like they were goddamn vampires. Not the vampires, like the Keanu Reeves looking like he's from the 1300s levels of vampire.
Not like Count Orlok or whatever.
Yeah, wait, how are you still so young at the age of 80? It's like, some genetics, man, just like wild as fuck.
Yeah, like people who are born with really long lungs.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing. People are just born with oblong organs. Apparently, it gives them extra capacity.
I'm having one of those like that Bill Clinton guy moment, which good fucking god, don't look into that dude's social media. That dude is trying to be a fucking Milo Yiannopoulos sort of person.
That whole bit I was referencing is apparently a thing taken from me just running with an aside comment Gur from Wayne Radio TV Enterprise made about how apparently he did get like a scan or something and his lungs are longer than they should be.
Nexus, you could tell me that you were 20, I'd be like, yeah, that's about right. But yeah, on the note of the Bill Clinton guy, dude being a piece of shit, I've linked it before and then I deleted it, which gives like almost no fucking context. Even though I tried my hardest to give context, I didn't want exposure for a shitty Twitter account. The dude apparently invited two out-of-touch people onto a podcast to talk about something, and apparently it went quote-unquote not according to plan, because he accidentally found some wealthy people who were convinced that $1,000 a year is minimum wage.
Oh my Christ.
Like, the dude had a character break on his video podcast and went, "You're joking, right? I was waiting for him to drop the
As
accent.
the X-Death battle theme is playing while you're
Right.
discussing this, by the way.
That dude's like not super great, by the way. Like I believe the dude does border on being overtly racist in a lot of cases, just for the shits and giggles, and the fact that he walked on the stage.
He's having a moment where he realizes, condoning the face-eating leopards will invite them to eat his face next. I'm assuming.
I don't know, but like the fact that he walked on stage to fuck with a very well-respected game director, as much as people want to try to fucking counterculture that shit, let's be real, the dude won an award. He was clearly doing something, an award at a predominantly American awarded game award show at that.
Yeah, considering we mentioned this like last stream, but the whole discussion about like the general reception to JRPGs around here.
Well, let's just not use JRPGs. I'm kind of down for that. Just not using that as a term anymore. Just
yeah,
RPGs from Japan.
Like I'm in the it depends category where where you could argue it has shifted enough that people aren't using it as a pejorative, but because it does still have that history with some people, just feel free to self-police yourself however you want.
I've already started. It's like they're just RPGs from out east.
Because it's also very weird to have that category when there's like a whole untapped market that we've never seen over here of Chinese-developed RPGs. They're even making like a Chinese indie game in the style of Octopath, apparently.
Yeah, I'm certain Tencent's gonna pick that up and completely decimate it, like what happened with MiHoYo, which apparently Genshin Impact was supposed to not be a gacha game.
Really?
Yeah, it was just,
no, I can actually believe that because of its Breath of the Wild structure.
It was just gonna be a really pleasant open world multi-character story game, and then Tencent bought out MiHoYo. And as much as people go out of their way to say, oh, but Tencent is owned by the government. No, the problem with Tencent is they're a large corporation. It has nothing to do with the government. They're a large corporation.
Yeah, because it's like people who go out of their way to, again, just bang on a big old drum labeled xenophobia. It's just the problems with Tencent are the same problem with any large company in any fucking country.
They'll do anything to make a quick buck.
Exactly.
And if that means, catering to a fascist government, they'll do that. Still under construction, huh?
There's still a lot of games that can be considered a quote JRPG that are absolutely Western developed. Oh yeah, no, that's an argument I've heard a lot too. Like people are saying,
Demon's
okay, is Undertale a JRPG? Are FromSoft RPGs JRPGs?
Like genuinely, if you want a actual, well, what defines a JRPG? Demon School, currently undeveloped, wears its Persona 1 inspiration on its sleeve, and openly has said, we're going for the Japanese RPG feel.
Yeah. Not to mention there are genuinely arguments because From Software fans cannot feel any joy in their cold, meaningless existences over whether or not the Dark Souls, Soulsborne series are considered JRPGs because there's this weird sentiment that they could only be turn-based games, which also leads to the bad faith arguments about how they lack innovation. Like how people made those same arguments about puzzle games and survival horror
Remember when there was
games.
an entire Twitter shit fit over people saying that Pokemon is a JRPG?
God, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for you to finish so I could bring that up, but I was like, no, because you're starting to like go off the topic a little bit. So I had to go, well, you remember when Twitter had a shit fit over people calling Pokemon a JRPG?
I thankfully was not aware of that, but I can believe it.
The amount of people who were going, la 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 la, can't hear you.
Mako is a substance that flows under the surface of the planet. Our skilled engineers have learned how to convert this substance into electricity, which in turn has greatly raised the people's standards of living.
That's debatable. But
I hope this innovation would allow Midgar to become a veritable utopia.
That's well, okay. No, he's actually admitting that he's even aware that it's not what's happening.
Unfortunately, wherever there is progress, there are setbacks.
God, just the more we see Reeves' dialogue, the more I just feel bad for the guy.
Like, it really feels like he plays up the character of Ketchi the way he does as a fucking coping mechanism, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like he wanted better for the world, and the world didn't let him give it.
Not so much the world as it is his bosses and fucking coworkers.
I mean, depending on how you look at it.
The dude is a ranking board executive. He's on the same level as people like Heidegger, like Scarlet, like Palmer, and yet he's constantly treated as shit because he's the only one who is willing to fix his heart.
And then when push comes to shove and they launch the weapons, oops-a-daisy, turns out we used parts of Genova for that.
Apparently, the reason why he winds up giving himself away at a certain point later in OGFF7 is because in the Japanese script, when he's talking as Ketchi, his text is written to imply a Kansai dialogue, whereas whenever he speaks as Reeve, he's using like very sophisticated, like mainstream Tokyo dialect.
What am I missing? Oh.
Which I think is what informed them to give Ketchi a Scottish accent in the English releases when they gave him voice acting in the compilation games.
Genova Farms remembers. Made with organic materials from Genova. That'll admittedly be my favorite thing about, like, what I've tangentially found out about Final Fantasy VII is, like, the fact that the bioweapons don't even look like bioweapons.
Nope.
And I am absolutely into that fucking cyberpunk fantasy bullshit.
Remember, these are the same games where there's an enemy you can run into that's just a fucking Triceratops torso nailed on top of tank treads.
I'm trying to remember what the fucking Team 4-star joke for that one was. I think it was like Tank Ceratops.
Something like that.
So fucking good.
Like, people thought that Final Fantasy VII was like fucking exhaustingly serious, quote-unquote emo shit because they only saw a few things through Advent Children and like some of the sadder cutscenes, and they forget this is the same game that gave us Hell House.
Yeah. Doing a quick stretchy.
Like, there are actually Shinra mooks in full bodysuits that look like fucking Kamen Rider enemies.
But also the fact that the movie, it really upplayed his broody, moody personality.
Well, that could still be justified because the film takes place only 2 years after the events of the game, which means he has finally had time to process.
And still just, like, without that context, because the movie doesn't serve you that context.
I mean, it's still not a great film. It's like, Advent Children is one of those films where if you are a Final Fantasy VII fan, you will constantly sing its praises, but the moment someone just point-blank asks you if it's good, they suddenly hear a dial tone sound.
It's like, you know, asking me if Spirits Within is good. I'll be like, It was ahead of its time, when the bog standard for ahead of its time was literally Free Willy. Animal doesn't die in the production of the film. Wow, that's so progressive.
Oh, God.
Remember the 90s when you actually didn't have to say that no animals were harmed in the making of this film, and it didn't actually mean anything if you did?
The funny thing is, I remember that because I know there's a couple of sordid stories of, like, fucking trained stage animals that were apparently killed for the sake of shots.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a case of... I think I mentioned this before, how there was a case of that in the original Friday the 13th, where for a shot, they actually shot and killed someone's trained snake, and there's fucking old wives' tales about how if you listen closely to the audio track from that scene, you can hear them trying to keep the handler from going off his shits.
You want to feel your heart really retch?
Go for it.
I challenge you to spot the scene where they swap the dogs 4 times in Homeward Bound. I might be undercounting. I do believe it's higher than that, but there's only 4 times where you can notice. Spoilers. I'm only talking about one of the dogs. I don't remember the accounts for the other 2 animals. Yeah, there was some animal heart feels movies back then that were like really don't. Uh, well, the mud scene didn't go as according to plan. Let's just say that.
Oh my god.
Remember the scene where one of the dogs gets stuck in the mud and, oh, because I'm old, I can't get out of the hole.
Oh my god.
Just pull out the chalkboard for dead golden retrievers and go. I stopped being fond of that movie because of that knowledge. Like the 90s animal feel good heartstring movies did not go according to plan 99% of the time. Which is why you see the cat stripes throughout that movie mysteriously change places a few times. As much as I give PETA shit for what they do, if it wasn't for them, animals use in films would probably not be anywhere near as good as they are now.
Like, they had some positive impact early on, and then...
Oh, yeah, Milo and Otis. No, 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 no.
Oh.
Again, a reminder that the 90s were a time.
Boy, howdy, were they.
Also, Mighty Joe Young actually had somebody die on set. Not the monkey, though. I think that was just the same monkey the whole time. There's a reason why we don't say, hey, yeah, a reason why we say, quote unquote, that chimpanzee could go off the rails any minute, even though the reality behind 90% of the monkey freakouts on film sets is because the monkey was mistreated during the filming. And much like humans, chimpanzees have a breaking point.
Yep.
Yeah. When I found out about that as well, I was like, oh. Yeah, it makes you definitely recontextualize that movie, and not in a good way.
I wish every film animal handler I wish every film that doesn't respect the animals that they're handling for the sake of shots I hope your kneecaps explode like cherry bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the power washer accidentally loaded up with a Mako canister instead of water. Oh my god.
No! I'm going to power wash the entire room! And the meteors cast.
Like, number one, I think we have proven, because there are reactors for it, that Mako is not a corrosive. But also, number two, you would probably still need whatever the settings equivalent of a fucking Geiger counter is. Because, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, Jessie's expanded backstory is that apparently her dad passed out from overwork in a Mako reactor, and by the time they found him, he was comatose. So he might have whatever the equivalent of radiation poisoning is.
It's either that or his soul was sucked into the live stream due to the Mako.
She actually theorizes that could be the case.
Because everything I've ever seen reference Mako is just like, it's the will of the planet. If it wants you in its live stream and you touch Mako, Mako's gonna take you to the live stream.
Don't have to worry about the cleaning room when it's blasted completely out of existence.
Exactly. You just go. Pew! Whole room's gone. Yeah, sorry, I kind of ruined certain movies for everybody there when I brought that up.
Oh boy,
though.
yeah, no, I'm if anything's fucking open when we end the stream, I might actually join Kagura in spirit for that drink after that. Jesus
yeah, I've been living
Christ.
with that information for a long time, and again, I'm sorry for kind of just like dumping it out on people there. But like, again, 90s animal movies are not as lovey-lovey as they claim to be.
If y'all want a palate cleanser for that, for the sake of movie trivia, you know what was a movie that apparently had some really fun fucking production stories behind it? Young Frankenstein.
That didn't surprise me.
Because it was like, because the movie, everyone involved in that film had so much fun that Gene Wilder and fucking Mel Brooks kept coming up with ideas to extend scripting and filming because no one wanted to leave that production.
I have actually read a lot that Mel Brooks didn't treat many people wrong or badly that didn't have it coming.
The worst it ever got was that there were a lot of creative differences between Brooks and Gene Wilder, and they did have a couple arguments, but like the later in the day, Mel Brooks was willing to phone him up and in his own like roundabout way before doing apologizing before doing it sincerely, where he just called him up and he's like, "Hey Gene, yeah, who was that asshole you were arguing with earlier on the set? I hope that asshole gets fired."
I love that.
Like they actually despite they loved how the film came out despite that, and both of them agreed that after the way the tensions went, they decided to amicably agree not to work with each other because they respected their friendship more than ruining it for the sake of creating shit.
I'm like Dana Kirby and fucking Mike Myers.
And like fucking one of the debates that they had was the putting on the Ritz scene where the monster puts on the fucking tuxedo and like dances. Mel was actually not sure about putting it in the final product, so he said, "All right, we're going to put it to a vote and we're going to do it like this. We're going to film takes of the scene, and I'm going to pass out handkerchiefs to the crew. If any of them are about to break out and laugh during the scene, they have to take the handkerchief and cover their mouth, and we'll use that to gauge whether or not we keep it." And when they started filming, there was not a uncovered mouth in that whole fucking room. The other thing is that apparently, you remember the scene with like the how they put their spin on like the blind man in the cabin, right?
I don't think I've seen Young Frankenstein. It's on a list of movies that I need to watch.
God, it's so good. Okay, so they do a spin on the old Frankenstein film from a scene from like the original Frankenstein where he runs into the old blind man in the cabin. But in the Young Frankenstein version, the blind man is played by Gene Hackman. And there is a bit towards the end where the monster is running out because his thumb got lit on fire when the blind man was trying to light cigars. And as he is hobbling out with his cigar in his mouth, he hears the monster crash through his door, and he's like going, "Wait, where are you going?" And then Hackman ad-libs this fantastic line of, "I was going to make espresso." And they had to, and in the final production, they had to insert a fade to black in that scene because the very moment he finished saying that, everyone on set cracked up laughing.
God, it's like the fucking... Oh, if it wasn't for the fact that a streamer that I watch has already streamed it and I kind of spoiled it for myself, we probably would have also done one of the very deeply forgotten Telltale Games series.
Oh, right.
Wallace and Gromit.
Oh my god, I forgot they did one of those.
They did a Wallace and Gromit.
That's my fucking childhood right there. Holy shit.
It actually is pretty good. Like, it's very clearly not the original voice of Wallace because I believe that guy actually isn't alive anymore. But, yeah.
Fun fact, during the Biggest Dicka scene in Monty Python's Life of Brian, the actors were lied to and told that if they laughed during that scene at all, they would not be paid.
That, I mean, I would hope they still got paid anyways. Which
they were. They were just lying to like encourage them. Mark my words, I will complete my expressway project one day, as well as the restoration of Sector 6. So that's explaining why Sector 6 is kind of all ramshackle when you go through the slums in-game.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Sector 6 is
why it's like a slice out of the quote-unquote rotten pizza, if you will.
Mm-hmm. There's supposed to be an expressway, and I believe this
all
is
I want is to make life better for Midgar, especially for those in the Undercity.
I believe this expressway actually does get finished in Dirge of Cerberus.
Dirge of Cerberus or fucking Advent Children.
Yeah,
because there is that extended scene of like the bike chase towards the climax.
Yeah, like one of the two after game stories, like points out that this did actually get finished. Like, that this actually did benefit Midgar as a whole. Yeah, no. Early Telltale was, like, actually pretty solid, and there's a good chance that I'm going to add Sam and Max to one of the games that I want to stream, because I actually saw a YouTube video on Sam and Max recently, and I'm like, oh, Sam and Max were lovers, like, canonically for a while now.
Yeah, no.
And, like, Max did actually make jokes about him not exactly knowing his identity, his gender identity, for a very, very long time. And because Max being a psychotic bunny, turns out, Max doesn't really know what he is.
No, he doesn't. He just knows he's a bunny. And even that's debatable. They actually do make a pretty good couple in retrospect. Yeah.
And it's played more into in the Telltale games too, I believe. Where like there's a what felt like a throwaway joke.
I'm pretty sure Max is the embodiment of that one image that I love. That's the skeleton holding up the sign that says "Be gay, do crime."
Pretty much. It's also the player's voice of reason in earlier games.
Which is a fun fucking sentence to say.
Yeah, because
boy howdy, early fucking adventure games had some logic to them, huh? I don't know what logic, but there was a logic.
Oh, Lucasfilms game or Lucas Games very much took the piss out of that.
Oh yeah, no, because they LucasArts adventure games were pretty much almost always had some fucking shot across the bow at Sierra's way of doing it.
And in a few cases,
But
Roberta
like the most famous
also
version of
gave
that
some
is
shots
the
across.
Monkey Island one, right?
Yes, where they make a joke about King's Quest.
Yeah, where they make a joke about how you can fall off a cliff and you get a quote game over reference as he like bounces back up.
Yeah. You get another one in Hit the Road where he does bungee jumping and he refers to one of the deaths in King's Quest 3, I want to say.
Full throttle. That was one of the earliest games by God, I forget the name. Was it Tim Schafer? The dude
Tim
who would
Schafer.
go on to make Psychonauts.
Yeah, the dude who goes on to make Psychonauts and Double Fine, which honestly, as much as people give that dude shit, like he did actually do some really great games.
Yeah, no, like I've heard nothing but good things about Psychonauts 2. The only complaint I've heard is that it's not as funny as the first game, but it's still really good.
Yeah, I heard like it takes itself considerably more serious.
Which I've heard some people say is reflective more of changing attitudes and mental health than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's the case, fucking fine, I'm for it.
We finished the outskirts, except for what I'm coming by. This is a big one.
Oh yeah, no, like this model, even in the original game, this is not small.
Like I'm actually like taken aback by how big this is. We may get one more stream out of this, which gives me more time to do Metroid Prime Hard Mode, getting that ready.
Yeah, because I'm not going to spoil what the last map is, but it has a lot of individual parts. I'll say that.
Fair enough. And if I may just do Tomb Raider as well. I just want to stream more Powerwash.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
I need to finish the main campaign so I can do the special stages. Apparently, there's special stages that get unlocked when you finish the campaign.
I'm wondering if that's like the fucking gnome fountain and the golf course.
Yeah, those are already unlocked. They get unlocked
I
a
don't know
little
what
bit
else
later.
would be available past that point.
I think like Crystal Cave did get added to the game at some point,
Hmm.
but as a special. What?
We could take a BRB and I'll do it. I wanted to get some.
Yeah,
water
we'll do a
for
quick BRB.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do a quick BRB. Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely yes. Okay, we're back. Making sure my mic was good.
Ugh.
Some fucking like production story shit that was on Reddit. Like they actually verified with moderators about that. Though, you know, that's fucking still subject to disbelief because Reddit, but
Yeah.
it's
Because like, for some, I know people have been talking about this. How like for some reason, as time has gone on, awareness of like internet security and scrutiny has gone down among generations
Yeah.
because it's become so much less user friendly, among other things.
but seeing the footage breakdown that at the time, very much yeah. But if it does turn out to be wrong, then good. Fucking but at the moment I am of the belief because someone who claimed and it was verified as being part of the production team did say yes. That was indeed the case.
Ketchi is yeah, no, we made this joke last week that Ketchi is just Reeves' persona. He is the one mythological suspiciously wealthy furry because he's a corporate executive. Like you know that motherfucker has given like a 100% tip for a commission he got off of someone on Twitter because he saw that they were struggling to pay their fucking insulin bills.
Right. Made its persona a veritable Robin Hood.
He's just basically become the fucking furry commissioner version of what's that dude's name, Probate, where he like gives out generous amounts of money to like creators he supports. And it's like apparently now fucking whatever the FF7 version of Fur Affinity has become the center of wealth distribution.
I saw you run that shit back.
Oh, the fucking Void theme. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting in the later part of the soundtrack.
I know a lot of people big up Final Fantasy IV soundtrack, and for good reason, admittedly, but 5 had like more memorable tracks in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It also had the least recycled tracks too. God, there's so many tiny things here.
Yeah, because
Is it all metal? I think it's all metal.
Most of it's metal. I don't know if there's any parts that wouldn't be metal looking at this thing. Except for maybe like whatever they used to make the pipes in the model Shinra building.
It's gonna start using this up.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like use it up on the bio residue, because that's gonna be like the toughest stuff.
Well, the frontal cone spread thing makes hard to get shit easier.
Oh, yeah. It'd probably be really good for like getting the framework, actually, the walls.
I'm just wanting this to pick up pace a little bit.
You're really spraying and praying away that fucking soap, aren't you?
You don't need much.
But because you only have so much of it, I use it the same way that you use fucking SMGs in an FPS, where you just do like a couple taps and then just hold off.
No, you gotta go in with that shit. Like, you'd be surprised how effective it actually is when you just spray it in a wide fucking reach. It helps when I'm at a good angle. I am...
Ah.
Sorry, just like... I'm getting the antsiness that I... The fuck? Alright, well, guess it was Dutton or something. I don't know.
Must have been the wind.
Oh, I think that's... If that's what I think it was, I think I know exactly
Hold
what
up.
part of the game we were in.
Hold up. Let's just keep cleaning and see what happens.
That is funny that we are getting to hear that.
Oh yeah, Atomos is like this specific boss in 5 where they just immediately take off the kid gloves.
Yeah,
if
no.
they were even still on.
Like,
because that gimmick is based around instantly dying and keeping your party members from being deleted from the fight.
it's a pain in the ass. There we go.
Yeah, you still got one more.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the broader, harder stuff. I should be using it on this.
Yeah, because that's got like a bunch of like little parts and grooves. Did you hear that? Sounded like an explosion. Immediately confirming your suspicions.
We're at bombing mission, boy!
I've just received word about complications with reactor number 1.
Should I stop cleaning it? Could you imagine if the game let you reply to it and one of the responses was, "Should I stop cleaning reactor 1 then?"
Oh my god. Please excuse me, but this issue requires my immediate attention.
Be so fucking funny. Where you just hear him see just text message ellipses sent, and then hold that thought. Like it's an actual consideration. Because I think reactor 1's like right over here, isn't it?
No. Technically the Shinra building constitutes Midgar Sector 0.
Oh.
The reactors are those big fucking things on the edge.
Oh, these things.
Those are the Mako reactors.
Oh, so it would be.
You're looking at Sector 5 right now? There we go.
Yeah, Mako 01, 02. Was Reactor 1 that went off?
Reactor 01.
So it's that one. Oh, so they're literally doing this right now.
Yeah, they are. They have just blown up the reactor, and now they're presently like trying to escape and go back to Sector 7 as you were cleaning at this point.
Yeah. Okay. So they're gonna be booking it, if I remember correctly. From here.
I'm not actually finding anything about Homeward Bound, but the Milo and Otis stuff made me nauseous.
Oh, I bet. The fucking Homeward Bound, it falls into one of those time periods where internet wasn't really documenting things that well. Wouldn't surprise me if it was something.
I wouldn't be surprised if this stuff coming to light is the exact reason why we don't see fucking feel-good pet movies as much.
Let's see. Yeah, so
it's amazing how you can map things out from this map of how far the actual plot of the game is going.
Right. Okay, so they would be coming out of this after Scorpion Tank.
Yeah, they would be coming out. They would be running to the left.
This way.
No, that's the right.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Left facing the center or left?
No, because in the original like top-down visuals for the PS1 original, they would be coming in through that what is the left scaffold from where you are looking? They would go in the reactor, come out, and then run through an escape route secured on the right side platform.
Okay, so it'd be on this shit.
So they would be running through this sector to get to the train.
And the train, I believe, goes across the wall.
It goes around the Shinra building scaffold and down under the plate into the slums. Because what you're looking at is specifically the upper plate. It doesn't show the slums.
Okay, fair enough. Damn, again, you can tell I've played through a good part of Disc 1.
You can tell I know way too much about fucking Final Fantasy VII lore for my own good that I can just map this shit out like this.
And that's actually a gun.
No, but they do install a gun later.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's in like Disc 2 as a weapon countermeasure that they install the Sister Ray. It used to be a fixture in Junon, but they moved it over to the Shinra building.
It's gonna look funny on the time lapse.
Oh my god, this thing has so many parts.
Yep, this is where all the money comes from.
Yep.
It's Sector 0.
Oh, Joe, put a gun on it. The whole building? Yeah, put a gun on it. Heidegger, probably.
Probably.
Like, the man is only so many degrees removed from General Ripper and just going on about how the people of Wutai are putting fluoride in the water to reduce their precious bodily fluids. God, now that I say that, it is bleak how easily you could replace the cast of Doctor Strangelove with characters from fucking Final Fantasy VII's Shinra, and it would still work one-to-one.
I think that was the intent by design.
I don't know, but if it was, they fucking nailed it.
Slowly doing everything in my power. This is Dead Center, right?
The Shinra building, yes.
Let me see how many things I
Executive batshit Palmer.
Executive batshit Palmer.
Because remember, one of the dudes in the film is named Bat Guano.
Oh, that made me dizzy for some reason, that spin. I apologize to anybody who gets dizzy easily. We're just gonna start sprinkler systeming this.
Because it feels like whenever people get involved with making something in media, they can't help but want to see how many like off-the-wall references they can fit into a piece of work and still make it work on its own.
Actually felt my eyes twist for a moment when I was doing that spinning. Getting all the outside. It really does not feel like we're 91% done.
But it's probably also accounting for stuff like caught in the crevices.
More than likely, or it's one of those maps that ends prematurely.
You know who you'll have to answer to, don't you? You'll have to answer to a force greater than the Shinra Corporation. And what's that? The Shinra Carbonated Drinks Division. that's like one of my favorite bits, because that's the bit where he's like trying to get money for the payphone, and he has to talk fucking one of the soldiers into shooting the lock off of a vending machine to get change from it for it.
Oh my god.
And his specific line in the actual film is, "You'll have to answer to a force greater than the United States government. You'll have to answer to the Coca-Cola company."
God.
I would like to remind people that for some reason, Stanley Kubrick made one singular comedy film and knocked it out of the fucking park, and then never went back to doing comedy films ever again for some reason.
He was just like, nope, that you could. The only direction we can go from here is down.
Like, that still knocks my ass out of the fucking park to remember, oh yeah, Dr. Strangelove is a Stanley Kubrick film. Dr. Strangelove is a Stanley Kubrick film.
Spray.
Spray. So have a good day at work. Yeah, but no, for real. Like, do your best.
Slowly scan the outer skirts.
Oh. Got you, bitch.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. We're probably gonna wrap it on this one because this took way longer than I thought it would.
Oh yeah, no. This like, look at the shit in the grooves. This map is intricate. In RimWorld, I just learned why you shouldn't have more slaves than you do colonists.
Oh yeah, they'll uprising on your ass. I've learned that mistake real quick. Like, RimWorld is a game that you do not want to fuck with. Like, have unbalanced ratios. The game actually accounts for that. That's why I took a break from RimWorld. You have to like account for so much shit. Even worse on Randy Random. The only game I literally can't talk about at work because I'd get a HR case on me. Not doing anything that's in a video game, but, you know, the video game's topics.
Oh my god, this
good
really
shit.
illustrates how much perspective helps in this fucking game, because from top it's like, yeah, it looks fine, and then you get to the side and it's like the fucking shadows baked in after a high-grade bomb.
Ah, God, you know, okay, you made the remark. I was gonna avoid making the remark.
I mean, considering what happens to Midgard later on.
You know, fair. This would be the only DLC that you can make this joke. So Mako bomb just went off and flash blinded everyone. Oops, now they're dust on the wall. Oh yeah, fucking speaking of fucking problems, I love that like the court case for A Dog's Purpose is coming back up again about mistreated animals.
What?
Yeah, so you know that movie A Dog's Purpose where it's like this dude's soul going from dog to dog to save the owner and shit?
No.
And like how thankfully I don't think any pets actually died on set. But one of them got really distressed during one of the scenes where it was a rushing water scene. And TMZ, of all people, gave enough of a shit for 5 seconds to not be, you know, celebrity gossiping about Britney Spears for 5 fucking minutes. Released footage of one of the dogs being distressed during one of the stunts. And people were making a big deal about that, and that court case is still an active court case.
Really?
It's just been in purgatory.
Huh.
Yeah.
You would have thought at this point they would have wanted to settle, but apparently not.
Nope, because they didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, lovely.
Hollywood. That's why indie movies are starting to take off again.
Yeah, because you can actually be guaranteed that they're not made by fucking sociopaths.
Yeah.
Or at least you have a not greater chance they're not made by sociopaths. That's still a thing that can happen. Just
Really?
side-eyeing. I mean, I'm. Oh.
Oh, in the 1993 one at least. Okay, no, fair enough. It might have been a different one then, because there was a Reddit post about it a good ways ago, about like just animals dying on scenes. But no, if that turned out to be like not the case, fucking good.
Movie fucking salvaged in that case.
Yeah.
They may have been talking about Milo and Otis or the original.
They might have been talking about one of them. They might have been talking about Milo and Otis then. It's been a bit, and they weren't too terribly specific, and after all, it is Reddit. Someone could just shoehorn in context, and it takes on a different light.
Because, again, people will... What I was talking about before about
Jesus.
how people are really not good about misinformation on the internet all of a sudden these days, where they will just immediately believe something instead of looking closer.
I mean, when it comes
Exhausted side-eye, and imagine that there is a copy of Bayonetta 3 slowly appearing in the corner before it gets shoved down by a Monty Python hand.
I mean, when it comes to the 90s, you only have so much context in a poorly documented era.
That's very true.
Like, anybody could say anything about that particular era.
We were also still on the tail end of the Reagan years, so it just goes to show that everything was awful.
Yup. That's why I took all that shit at face value, because it's like, well, what proof do we have? It's 1993.
It's not like anything that comes from the 70s and 80s where people were either hopped up on coke or diet pills, so there's plenty of crazy stories you could believe.
Yep. The fact that Fred Durst was ran out of the country by Eddie Van Halen.
Oh yeah, because he didn't give his shit back, and Eddie Van Halen was so upset he went down there armed to the fucking teeth and went, "Where's my shit?"
Hey, Reactor 1 exploded. Do you think you could go watch that up? I'm gonna laugh if that's actually the next level!
We should at least see what the next level is before we stop, because I think you're going to like it. That is all I will say. I think you are going to like it.
Just
Eddie Van Halen, one of the true kings of rock and roll.
Like, genuinely, I shared him the story, and I really should share it on the Discord as well. But, like, the dude was psychotic.
Like, how long did he wait before he even rolled up again? Was it like 48 hours?
I'd have to pull up the tweet again. But, like, it literally was Fred Durst did not leave America because of politics. He left America because of Eddie Van Halen. Dude came in a fucking APC.
Yeah, no, holy shit. Like, there are plenty of stories about celebrities where the more you look at it, the more you realize we should not be suddenly just randomly giving people money and influence. It does things to their brain chemistry. Which we have written point blank with certain creators, don't we?
Yeah, no, like, Calgary, your joke is a little more on the nose than you think. Like, the dude was actually went to an army surplus store and bought a fucking armored car. Like, an armored military patrol vehicle.
Like, he actually, like, if I'm remembering the story you shared with me correctly, he had a fucking ammo bandolier on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull that shit up on my phone, and I'll read it, like, live on stream. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. According to Eruption in the Canyon, 212 Days and Nights with the genius Eddie Van Halen, author Andrew Bennett, Van Halen and Durst jammed together at West Borland after West Borland quit Limp Bizkit. After the two were introduced at the party. Bennett said Durst joked that it would be hilarious that the greatest guitar player ever plays with the worst band ever, but Van Halen basically said, why not? The jam happened, but Van Halen left after people started smoking weed, which is very weird considering that,
Especially the era.
Yeah. Bennett adds that Van Halen said the jam was like being a scholar amongst kindergartners. I forgot about that. Van Halen contacted Durst the next day to get his guitar and amplifiers, but received no response. That's when things got a little iffy. The following day, Van Halen contacted Durst to recover his gear. According to Bennett, the guitarist was still upset about the experience, and after not hearing back from Durst after 24 hours, he decided to take matters into his own hands. Eddie once bought an assault vehicle from a military auction, Bennett writes. It has a shine gun mount on the back and is not legal. Eddie drove that assault vehicle through L.A. into Beverly Hills, then parked and left it running on the front lawn of the house Limp Bizkit was rehearsing in. He got out wearing no shirt, his hair in a samurai bun, this is a quote, on top of his head, his jeans held up with a strand of rope, and combat boots held together by duct tape, and he had a gun in his hand. That asshole answered the door, Bennett recalled Van Halen explaining. I put my gun to that stupid fucking red hat of his and said, "Where's my shit, motherfucker?" That fucking guy just turned to one of his employees and starts yelling at him to grab my shit. Eddie Van Halen stood on the front lawn of a residential home in Beverly Hills in broad daylight, smoking a cigarette while holding a gun on Fred Durst as he went back and forth from the house to the assault vehicle lugging amps and guitars.
Holy fucking shit!
Van Halen is a lunatic in the wildest way possible.
Like, according to that story, the dude waited 48 hours before he went from impatient to sociopath.
Dude went off the fucking rails. Yup. Hey, that one got clean.
Hey. But, like, Jesus fucking Christ.
0 to 60 faster than a Tesla.
Yep. I mean, give or take the presence of a child.
Without the presence of a child.
Okay,
With the presence of a child, I think the speed of light is actually achieved.
The moment that a child is actually present, the headlights just turn red like the machine life forms in Nier Automata.
Just becomes that one weird Stephen King novel. Except, with the Tesla.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one he never published that was born out of an idea of, like, people going into the women's bathroom and never coming back out.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He just randomly had the idea while he was bored at an airport thinking about how people take too long in the bathroom. But he himself admits he couldn't make anything out of it, so he just, like, abandoned the concept.
I mean, he probably could have made something out of it, but
like given enough time and drafting, probably. But he just didn't figure it was like worth keeping around.
Good. That feels like one of those like shower thought situations. The one where you just kind of question whether or not acetaminophen actually kills the pain, or just the feeling that acetaminophen induces when you take it. I quoted that from someone else, for the record.
Fair enough. For some reason, I kept hearing you say acetaminophen, and I thought you were saying Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I'm like, yeah, I could imagine that killing people.
Yeah, I mean, just, whatever he did. As far as that statement goes.
That's as far as it deserves to go. Oh, Jesus, there's more stuff in the back there.
It's all
This feels so idiosyncratic to be cleaning the Shinra building to the sound of the classic Final Fantasy VII theme. Like, they do not deserve this, these fuckers.
I'm making it look nice and proper.
Philip Seymour Hoffman does not cure headaches, he causes them.
The only person who causes more headaches is Patton Oswalt. Is it
Uh,
Patton Oswalt or someone else that, like, nobody wants him to be acting anymore because he's just not funny?
I don't know. Because, like, last I heard, Patton Oswalt is half decent as a human being.
No, it might have been, James Corden. There we go.
Yeah, James Corden is the fucking asshole.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt's actually pretty chill.
Yeah,
I don't know why I mixed
you're
up his
getting your
name.
fucking round men with short hair mixed up.
Look, they're both white. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to. I fucking had to. Like that just I laid the groundwork for that unintentionally, and I was like, all right, well, there's some fruit on the ground.
I mean, it's pretty much the same genre as like fucking online content creator with short to no hair and a beard who is also white.
Oh, don't get started on that shit, please, because there's a fucking psychotic fucking Andrew Tate tier 3 subber that's like starting beef with Moist Critical right now.
Oh yeah, I heard whispers about that.
No, Charlie is not somebody you want to fuck with.
Isn't that guy like 6'2"?
6'2" and owns an AR-15.
What? First of all, why the fuck does he own an AR-15?
Florida.
Okay, sure, why not?
He lives in Tampa. But also,
oh, that poor bastard.
Yeah, but also like, it's the way he made his point about the dude who was like, I forget the dude's fucking name because I don't want to fucking commit his name to my memory.
Yeah.
But the guy was like, oh, check my clips live on Twitch with a gun in hand. And it was like a fucking, not even a fucking like actual good handgun. It was like a fucking, like your typical.
Okay, so back on the musician mayhem. Did you ever hear about the time Billy Idol had the Thai army after him?
Fucking what? Yo, fucking what? But yeah, no, the dude started beef with Charlie, and Charlie was like, hold on, let me give you a gun anatomy lesson, pulls out a Beretta pistol, and then goes for an AR-15 immediately afterwards and going, these are magazines or mags. And I'm just like, oh, that is a threat.
I mean, is it a threat when he's still saying it in his, like, sleepy half-speed voice?
Oh, no, he doesn't even talk like that anymore.
He doesn't?
Yeah, he, like, dictates a lot better now. Like, what everybody used to know him for monotone voices, like, yeah.
Okay, so there was a bender and a half in Bangkok to the point that the Thai army had to intervene on Billy Idol.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah, let's hear that Billy Idol story.
Yeah, if you can find more context, please share it.
YouTube drama is fucking stupid, or well, Twitch drama is fucking stupid.
But historical celebrity fuck-ups are legendary.
Yeah, because like that's people just unfettered stupidity sometimes,
or unfettered fucking awesomeness. Like I forget who, but apparently there was a couple of celebrities who were actually involved in the initial Stonewall protests, or I should say Stonewall riots. Critical was also trained to be a cop and would have been the one good cop ever, which breaks the rule of reality.
Yeah, he did get firearms training. The dude's been pretty responsible with his firearms. Like, I'm like not 100% for guns existing in America, but like as long if you're responsible with that shit, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna throw shade.
I am like, I am not someone who is super into guns, but I'm not gonna go wringing my hands, going no. Telling people not to, considering certain things going on, and it's like, if people want to feel safe and that makes them feel safe,
yeah,
I'm not going to throw aspersions at them. Ooh. Yeah, no, did I not say this thing is fucking intricate? Look at this.
Look at this final boss-ass bridge.
Just fucking imagine the work that the staff had to put into not only
like
putting this asset together, but properly assigning fucking groupings for everything.
What the fuck?
They had to use tranquilizer guns on him.
Fair enough. Hey, this is Moist Critical, and I'm gonna need your license and registration.
Oh my god, sans Undertale, and that's the moment where he is legally allowed to turn the safety off.
But yeah, I was gonna make a joke about fucking Snake coming across this bridge and going, I'm D. We need to play at least one Metal Gear Solid game.
We do. I just don't know which one. I know you said 3, because that's like one of the best
3,
ones.
1, and 5. Because 5 would be fun, because you can get up to some shenanigans with 5. Well, no, I should be careful about fly because something tells me Konami would fucking DMCA my stream.
Considering some of the music used, yeah.
Oh, it's super easy to fucking mute that shit.
Yeah.
Kojima was very good about that.
Maybe also, too, if only because I still remember back in the day when people hated that game for no reason other than Raiden was not Snake.
2 is actually a really good game.
It is. Like, I played the HD remake by Bluepoint, and I was like, why did people fucking hate this one again?
It's because it just wasn't Snake. And
That's literally the
two
only
games.
complaint I've ever heard is it wasn't Snake, despite the fact it has a very good postmodernist commentary on the presence of sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kojima, from that point on, kind of didn't want to make, he was very nervous about how could he ever make a sequel that would feel like it deserved to exist after how confident and fond he was of the original Metal Gear Solid, so that's the direction he went in.
Making technically two games and merged it into one big game.
Yeah. Where you could have, like,
it.
a proper, like, sequel Metal Gear game, and then you had one that feels more like it's just retreading MGS1, but it does that as a plot point. Yeah.
I think our soundtrack's going to be looping up here soon.
Unless you want to switch to the actual Final Fantasy VII soundtrack proper for, like, the last 20 minutes of this fucking stream or whatever.
Yeah, because we're starting to get to a point where it's getting incredibly difficult to figure out where things are now.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would, like, automatically do this for the last 5 items instead of 3.
I used to do that. I don't know why they didn't, or that it stopped for some reason. I recall it doing that in a lot of streams.
Okay, there we go.
Where, like, it would get to the last bits and the dirty stuff would just stay orange the whole time.
Okay, so anything that's labeled as, like, Sector 0 is going to be the Shinra building, for the record.
Yeah, I'm just...
Okay, so it's parts of the wall.
Well, I don't remember which one that I selected.
Shinra building exhaust pipes is the one you selected, so that's going to be something in the model.
Whoop.
Oh, fucking really? Holy shit, okay. Wow. Wow.
At least it's not plastic.
Oh no, this is all entirely metal.
The heaviest fucking model in this goddamn world. There we go.
Fucking Games Workshop fans sweating bullets looking at this thing.
Fucking Games Workshop sweating bullets. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, because apparently, yeah. Well, of course they would be sweating. They're looking at a model that actually fucking is quality.
Yo, no hate on some Warhammer fans, for the record.
I am going to plead the fifth on that one.
I know some pretty cool Warhammer.
Oh yeah,
fans.
no, like I genuinely don't care for Warhammer, but everything but occasionally I've heard some cool stuff, and like fucking, how do I want to phrase this? My one takeaway from Warhammer 40K is I know way too many trans girls who are into this for there to be nothing there. Like, this isn't fucking Harry Potter fandom Stockholm Syndrome. There has to be fucking something there.
No, there absolutely is. It's literally only one faction that people clung to. It's the same thing with the Putus Templars in Caves of Cud. Where, like, the devs aren't happy that someone clung to the worst faction possible.
Into some Warhammer 4K stuff, but the, Alright, there we go.
Boom! Alright.
So, let's see what the last cleaning map is.
The timing! The timing!
The people who cling to the Imperium they're bad. Either they're bad, or they cling to the Imperium because they're the people who remember the origins of these are meant to be a commentary and satire of fucking political systems and fucking bureaucracy.
Well, the fact that one of the faction's leaders in lore is literally just a Redditor.
He's a Reddit atheist, straight up. There's literally backstory of him going to Earth and debating the last fucking priest. I am not.
Sorry, I'm taking advantage of the fact that we literally ended this entire thing before we ended the Final Fantasy V soundtrack.
And we're going to play the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack for like 5 minutes before we end the stream. Because I want you to see what the last one is. Also, oh my god, that time lapse. Sex 2
It is
exists, and
incredibly-
it is called Powerwash Sim.
It is incredibly satisfying to see that I did it like that, where it's just this shrinking pie chart. I love it. My
Uh-oh.
phone fell.
Public Security believes the incident in Sector 1 was the work of terrorists known as Avalanche. I can't imagine why anyone would endanger the lives of their fellow citizens, least of all those who claim to respect all life. But, conversely, perhaps Shinra needs to ask itself where its fault in all this lies. Forgive me, this isn't your problem. Instead, let me congratulate you on another job well done. It's always a pleasure working with you. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Reeve. Clean the airbuster.
Yo, hold up!
Let's see. Oh, wait till you see this beauty.
The prelude as we load in. It's not super big either, but it looks
Hold
like it's
on.
got a lot of intricacies.
Move your cursor over the chest plate. Open chest.
Let me stand on it! Well now.
That's not all. Look down at the fucking airbag.
Oh my.
Yup.
Okay, no, this is gonna be a lot.
This is the actual those are the hatches where it launches some of its fucking attacks from.
There's the gun.
I think one of those exhausts is also where it launches attacks from if you try to get behind it.
Oh, this is just straight. These are just straight up guns.
Yes, like this thing is armed to the fucking teeth, and I believe you can move the guns if you move the cursor over them.
Well, something. Hold up. Oh, it was
not those ones. The ones on the shoulders. Yeah. Yeah, you can move them down.
Oh,
This thing's got fucking moving parts.
this fucking armored core ass fucking mech. I was gonna say front mission, but no, this is an armor core thing right here.
Just totally
Just straight
shit.
the fuck up. Whee.
Ah.
Oh. Okay, yeah, damn. This is literally gonna be all of next stream.
I feel bad for the people who have to clean all the shit normally, like, ugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure because they're not privately contracted like we are according to the story of this DLC, they're probably paid even less than we are.
Which isn't a lot to begin with, for the record.
I mean, that conversion rate of gil to USD, man.
This is the exhaust. Oh, sorry, the thruster. Side guns.
Oh my god, and the fucking, if you get close to the fingers, you can even see the joints.
Oh my god. Oh, that's bright. Hand. This is the hand that it uses to send tornadoes at you. That's actually probably correct.
No, actually, the hands in the hands in Remake do have mounted flamethrowers in the palms.
Fair enough. Well, damn, son.
Holy shit, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, well, that's a sizable list too.
Oh yeah.
Well, damn.
That's gonna be a good chunk of
that's-
next stream.
Yes, it is. That's probably gonna be all of the next stream. Hopefully, I'll
Probably
have...
more like half, depending on how things go.
And if we, all right, yeah, no, that's the final one. And when we finish, we'll probably just roll into fucking
Tomb Raider or something.
Tomb Raider. Either Tomb Raider or do one of the special maps, because there are some special maps in the career run that I believe once you clear these four, the fourth one in here, because I did a test thing for this, so I'm just gonna hit restart. Oh, all right. Didn't mean to do that. Oh.
There we go.
there. I think I can now safely leave, and it won't consider it a in progress.
Yeah, because, like, holy fuck, the golf course is big.
Yeah, this is like them testing bigger maps, and then we get to this bullshit here, which is also it on its own immediately a fuck ton.
Clean the Croft Manor. Oh my god.
Yep. It opens with the outside and goes inside. I believe this was developed before or after Midgar, because there's some tech that they talk about being in here that's not in the Midgar DLC. Because in this one, there's no transparent glass. But in the Tomb Raider DLC, they enable transparent glass, so you can see inside your progress.
I imagine it's less due to that and more because of the fact that, like, the actual Sector 7 slums, especially in the remake, is a lot. So they needed to get around that somehow.
Also, yeah, we'll wrap up here.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Good fucking stream.
Thank you all so very much for watching. Let me hit the button. P. And we will reconvene probably Monday. For either more Rain World, or we'll wrap up Pizza Tower and then go back to Rain World for a little while and figure out other stuff. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. Have a good night, everybody, and stay true to yourselves.
Take care.